All right. Well, here we are. Got some housekeeping to do on stream here tonight. We're live. We're doing our thing as we do. Good to be here. Good to be back. Good to be doing a TNA watch along after this absolute crapshoot of a day. But it was a mess, man. It was a mess of a day. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a minute when more people get here to actually hear it. Because, good lord, was it just a bad day? Go. I'm over on Blue Sky now, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Um, I do Blue Sky now. I don't really like to mess with the whole Twitter thing as often if I can avoid it. Oh man. But yeah, I'm trying to get off the old Twitter machine nowadays. Trying to get more on Blue Sky. All right, let's see here. Oh man, Bound for Glory is not too far away at this point. So it was actually announced earlier today, I believe, that Rhino is going into the TNA Hall of Fame this year, which is pretty cool for Rhino. So now, if I do this correctly, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's not super intrusive. It's just kind of down here now. Doesn't take up much of the screen, but now it gives people a little idea. A little idea that I do the Patreons thing. I'm trying to push the Patreon more than the memberships for LS11 Universe at this point, and I say that, and I say I'm pushing Patreon more than memberships now as a thing because the reason that I'm trying to push the Patreon a little more than I am the what do you call it, the memberships is because I feel like there's more value to the Patreon than there is to the membership because memberships, you get stuff for LS11 Universe, but you don't get anything for the other two channels. You don't get anything for this channel. Thank you, Zach. Glad you enjoyed Maple Leaf. I wasn't really in the chat as much as I wanted to be. Actually, I wasn't in the chat at all. I wanted to be in the chat, but I have had no memberships are not going away, Zach. They both exist. I wouldn't get rid of memberships just because I prefer Patreon. Anyways, um, no, I'm not getting rid of anything. Like when everyone assumes that something's going away because we're doing something new on LS11 Universe. But anyways, yeah, no, Patreon just it gets more because it covers all three channels. That's all I'm saying. Is I feel like the Patreon is worth it more than the memberships. But if all someone does is watch LS11 Universe and they don't want any of the other content, well, that's fine. The LS11 Universe membership is what's better for them because they'll get the early access stuff. Yeah, I figured that, Zach. I know. Start with no disqualifications with PCO and Moose. Oh man, there is going to be stuff on the Patreon for some Xander for the thing that's really going to be, I think, hitting home for fans of all three channels. SVR 2008 GM mode is coming back. Hopefully, I've done that in 4 years. In fact, let me pull up the channel dashboard. I can give an exact number. Um, Actually, I can do it from Firefox. I don't need to do it on Chrome. But yeah, bringing back GM mode on the Patreon because I don't really have a way to do it. I don't really have the energy to do it on a main channel, especially because like no one was watching it on main channel was the issue. That's why I stopped doing it. I did a year of it. Like I did one in-game year, and then I was like, um, at that point, it was like, well, no one's really watching this, and the universe is what's taking off. So let's see here. Yeah, the last GM mode episode was January 23rd, 2021. So let's see. How long has it been? How many days since January 23rd, 2021? 1,363 days. It has been longer between GM mode episodes now than has been between, or since it, the gap between the first season of GM mode ending and the one I'm bringing back on Patreon has been longer than Roman Reigns was Universal Champion. So the hiatus is the real tribal chief. Throw the ones up for the hiatus. How about 24 GM mode? I don't like the new GM mode personally. It feels very watered down compared to the original. Feels very watered down, like very lacking. All right, PCO with the win. I bet you Cardona's losing tonight. I bet you Cardona's losing to Nemeth tonight because I do think that I think Cardona's beating PCO at Bound for Glory. Wolf for two fight up the stairs in the crowd. Yeah, all right. I actually am looking forward to Nemeth and Cardona being the main event this evening. All right, cool. I have not touched the website updates. in a couple days. What was the last win-loss update I did? 2 days ago, 8:23 p.m. So 2 days ago. Okay, so I've done NXT. Not touched anything with AEW. Let's find out what happened on Ray EW this week. Actually, I'm going to just super quickly do the Maple Leaf stuff because I watched that earlier, so I know. Like, I know AJ Francis got a win over Rhino. Just got to knock these out super quickly so that I can move on to the main thing. Big week on the channel. Big week on the channel for Alex Living Universe. We got LAW this weekend. Ray's got King of the Ring, and I'm intending. Keyword is intending to have Sacrifice done. The only reason I might not is I was supposed to have hours to record tonight. I have not gotten to do anything tonight because when I was on my way home, or no, I was on my way to work, the battery light in my car started flashing. I thought, oh well, that's not good. But I had to get to work. I couldn't call out at that point. It was 20 minutes till I started working. They didn't have a substitute to fill in if I wasn't there, and I don't make money if I'm not. So I go in, and I'm like, well, I'll just hope that it's working afterwards. Turn on my car after work. The battery light is just on. It's staying on. It is on. It has stayed on. And I'm like, all right, cool. There's an auto zone 2 miles up the road. We'll hope we make it. Get there. Alternator's gone bad. If you're not a car person, if you don't know what an alternator is what keeps the car running. It's what keeps the car battery charged. It's what keeps the car battery from dying and causing your car to turn off in the middle of the road. I don't have an alternator, or I have an alternator. It's not working anymore, which means my car is no longer charging the battery. Hi, JT, I'm in the middle of something before you try and claim that someone's stolen my spot on stream or something else. Alternator goes out. I had to sit at AutoZone for 2 hours almost while they charge my car battery so I can actually get home because I'm 45 minutes from home. I get 2 minutes from home when I realize I don't have enough gas to get me this last mile. Pull into a gas station, leave the car running because I know good and well the car is not going to turn on if I turn it off right now. I get stuck at a red light right next to my house for 3 minutes, and it is a red light that's a three-way red light that has 4 sides because it's connected to a gas station parking lot, and it's not on pressure plates, it's on a timer. There is nobody coming from the gas station parking lot or across, but we have to sit here the whole 3-minute cycle before it lets me go. All my dashboard lights turn on at once, meaning the battery is about to die. Oh no. Oh no. I start turning up the driveway into my complex I live in. Brake light comes on. We don't have much time. Radio starts going on the flits. Fritz, oh no. See my parking spot. Cut the wheel. Car rolls to a stop in my parking spot. Car battery died perfectly in my parking spot. Issue is now, I get paid tomorrow, yes. It's going to be about a $430 paycheck. Awesome. Alternator, battery, and labor for those replaced? It's like $700. What the fuck? So, you know, just gonna, you get cool content. Woo! That is the most shilling of that is the most not scare tactic, but that's like the most pity shilling I will ever do is like, yeah, my entire financial situation just fell the fuck apart today. 400 for the alternator, 200 for the battery, or 200 for the alternator, 100 for the battery, 400 for the labor. Because the labor is 400 because they have to jack my car up, take the time, because I drive a Hyundai Santa Fe for reference. And the alternator is in the fucking middle for some reason. Instead of being next to the battery, it's under it in the middle of everything under the hood. So what they have to do, because I watched a video on this to see if I could possibly do it, is they jack the car up. They take the passenger side front tire off. They remove a panel. They take out like 7 things, I think, including the radiator. To that, hi Ariana Grace. To get the alternator out, put the new one in, put everything back on, put that panel back in place, put the tire back in place, lower it down, get the battery replaced. I'm in for a rough day tomorrow. I had to take tomorrow off work. All right, so it is Brinley Reese. Oh, they got the new NXT logo on the graphics. I was going to ask how your day was, but it seems you already answered that. Um, yeah, pretty much, Josh. Don't take tomorrow off. You're gonna need all the money you can get. Pal. JT, here's the issue. Here's the issue. I work an hour away. My car isn't gonna start tomorrow. I have to take tomorrow off to get it to a shop. Yep, one day till Motor City and WWE. You're right. I can walk it. If I start now, I might be 30 minutes late. Yeah. I don't like to shill and sound like I'm going, please give me money on stream ever. Like, you guys know I hate doing that. Like, that's why I try and be like, I want to give you something if you're willing to financially back me. With, like, the Patreon, where, as I've plugged many of times already, main event, the World Cup, the return of GM mode, early access to Wrestle Luigi content that isn't new, like, very, very up to date stuff. Full length Let's Play stuff for Xander LS11. Behind the scenes. Literally any other thing I think to throw up on there. Like, I was going to work on a video for that today, and then, holy shit. The thing that honestly pissed me off most is I found out when I took my battery to AutoZone to get it charged that I found out from AutoZone when they were charging my battery, batteries kind of have an estimated lifespan or a recommended lifespan before you get a replace on different ones. A lot of them are like 1 year, 2 years, stuff like that. And then there's like 6 month ones. Mine was a 90-day battery. Mine was like a cheap 90-day car battery, and that's why it destroyed my alternator. Because I was using a 90-day car battery for the last 6 months. Plug my Cash App. What is my Cash App? Hold on. I actually do have one. I just don't use it very often. I use it for Ray, and that's about it. My Cash App is it's Xander LS11, all one word. So it's do I have like a code thing? Is there like a code? Yeah, there you go. Don't know how well that's gonna show up for people, but there you can also see. Hopefully that doesn't like dox my phone number or something. Car trouble is always a bitch because once one problem occurs, um, Three others do at the same time. True, true. I've had a lot of cars, so for reference, as many people know, I'm 24 years old. I started driving at 16, or I had my own car starting at 16, and it was a 2003. Well, I guess we're gonna just because it's an Ash by Elegance match, and I'm just not an Ash by Elegance person. Um, but yeah, not an Ash by Elegance person personally. But anyways, what I was going to say is, what was I going to say? Um, yeah, had a 2003 Toyota Camry as my first car. Loved it. It was great. Um, and so, literally, ironically, within the first 3 months of having it, alternator went out. So, it's just a running trend in my life. Had that car until September 2019, when my great grandfather passed away and he left me his car. And you would think I started driving that. No, I started. No, it's not three. It's not three. I've had more than three cars over the last several years. And this is not me flexing. This is I've had shit luck kind of thing here, Josh. So I had the Camry for 3 years. Great grandfather passed, left me his Honda Pilot. My dad talked me into letting him drive the Honda Pilot, while I took my dad's 2012, I believe it was, Honda Civic that had over 300,000 miles on it because my dad used to drive every single night, hundreds of miles a night for work because he was a traveling phlebotomist. Had that for a year, moved out. My dad took the car back when I moved out. I instead then got a 2012, or I had the Civic for about a year and a half because it was early 2021 when I told my dad I was moving out and he made me get back the Civic. My stepdad, who owns a car lot, loaned me a 2012 Chevy Malibu, or 2011 Chevy Malibu, which is very appreciated. Oh, Pierre, you've missed all the fun of Xander's car battery and alternator died in the same fucking morning. And so I got to spend 700 out of my $400 check tomorrow, which is going to be great. But anyway, I'm just running through the number of cars I've had in my life and what's happened to each of them. Um, so Dad makes me I give back the Civic to Dad when I move out, get the Malibu, and then summer 2022, so a year after I've had the Malibu, or just shy of a year, about a week away from a year, I am driving it to work, and I get a flat tire. Take it to Walmart, get a tire replaced. It's fine. Notice the next day that another tire is threadbare, meaning it's going to go flat on me in a day at least, like in probably the next 24 hours. So I take that one, I get it done. $200 on tires in a week wasn't great, especially when my checks weren't that big at the time. I am driving to work the following day. Suddenly, car screeches to a halt and shoots off the side of the road. The ball joint that holds the tire in place broke. So finally, I put my foot down, got the Pilot back, which was great. So we are up to four cars now. I did just say $700 out of a $400 check, Josh. I sure did. I sure did. But yeah, so we're at four cars now. We're at the Camry, the Civic, the Malibu, and now the Pilot, right? And we're in summer 2022. Yep. We are in July 2022. July 12th specifically. Put my foot down, I'm like, I'm gonna need the Pilot back. I get the Pilot. I drive it. It's fine. It's great. Favorite car I've ever had. May 2023. You guys know about this one if you're in the Discord. You know about this one if you're in the Discord. I was supposed to move to Alabama in 2023 because I got a job there. And what happened there, I don't. What happened there, I don't talk about. I will never tell anyone what happened there on YouTube because it's the darkest moment in my life. Um, oh man. Anyway, and then the day before I was supposed to move to Alabama, I was I was on my way to my dad's house because I had something I wanted to give him before I moved 3 hours away. And I put on my blinker to get to the left, to turn left onto the off the highway onto the back road to my dad's house. I look in my rearview mirror and I say, "Oh, that car behind me is a little 65-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm doing 65, putting my blinker on. Guy behind me is doing 80. Isn't paying attention. Bam! Into the back of the pilot. I hold the brake down. Pilot swerves. I think I went about 500 feet, is what they said. From the eyewitness, I moved about 500 feet before it finally stopped. And you would think, oh, they just rear-ended you. It shouldn't be bad, right? They slammed perfectly into the muffler that was attached to the exhaust port of my car, which apparently sent like a vibration through the entire exhaust system of my car and totaled the exhaust of the pilot. The pilot was an estimated $12,000 car. Those repairs were going to be 9,000. Was he old? No. No, I looked at the paperwork, the police report. I was 23 at the time. He was 26. He just wasn't paying attention. He was just looking at his phone. That's why I don't touch my phone when I'm driving. He was looking at his phone and he just smacked into me. Totaled the pilot. Get the insurance payout, about $11,000. I buy the hybrid. You guys have seen the hybrid. It was my favorite car I had for a while. Had the hybrid. It was a Kia Optima hybrid. It was cool color. I liked it a lot. That's car number 5 in 5 years at this point. 2016, 17, 18, 19. Or really 2019 is when it changed. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Introducing the hybrid. So, I moved 300 miles to where I'm at now, which is the opposite direction of Alabama. And that's the only kind of hint you get of where I live. And even if someone ever guesses what city I live in, I'm never going to confirm it because obvious reasons, safety reasons. I have a wife, I have a roommate. I don't want them getting stalked. I don't want me getting stalked. Anyways, the the hybrid started out strong. It did. You know, $30 to fill it up. 12-gallon tank, a little over $30, somewhere between 30 to 40, depending on the gas at the time. 700 miles to a tank almost. It was great. I could go home and back on half a tank. That kind of stuff. Had it for about 9 months. Got it in July, March, late February, early March this year. Check hybrid system comes on the car. Hybrid battery was starting to die. Now, I don't know how many of you know much about hybrids. Hybrid batteries are almost the price of the entire car. About $5,000 for those playing at home. So I took the hybrid and I sold it, and I got the Santa Fe. And now here we are, car number 6. Santa Fe's been doing good. Dealership put a shitty battery in it, killed the alternator. Now here we are. So to answer Zach's question of how does $700 out of a $400 check works, it means I'm getting a $400 check tomorrow and I gotta pay $700. So I'm gonna be negative $300 after tomorrow. At least old people have somewhat of an excuse. Yeah, sometimes. How's the but not bad. Rhino and PCO was all right, and then um, we just had Brindley Reese versus Ash by Elegance. So yeah, sold the hybrid. Hybrid battery would have been 5,000. They gave me 4,000 for it, so it's a $7,000 loss on my part because I paid 10,000, or I paid about 11,000 to buy it. Which I should have done my research, but I was just excited to get a new car. And the idea of it being a hybrid excited me because I really like fuel efficiency. I like energy efficient stuff, all of that stuff. But either way, in the end, that is that's my life right now. Daniel Barry, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, so that's been my week so far. Keyword is so far. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do tonight? I'm gonna do some rendering. I'm gonna do some render stuff tonight. We're gonna get renders for the LAW roster. I'm gonna get the LAW roster finally up to date. That's what we're gonna do tonight. I also need to at some point record the little "this video is brought to you by Patreon" kind of thing. Figure out what the thing I gotta do is. When did you and Rosemary are winning the Knockouts tag titles at Bound for Glory, aren't they? That, like, I will admit, I was not prepared. I was not expecting Wendy Chu to be the first person to win another company's title in the NXT TNA crossover, but why not? I suppose. There's something flying around in the sanctuary. Which sucks when you saved up so much money just for every problem under the sun having a car. Man, when that happened with the hybrid, I haven't even told you the worst part. This is what made me say, all right, you're done to the hybrid. I got the hybrid system error, right? And it was that my hybrid system had overcharged and it killed my actual like regular car battery. $300 repair because 150 to diagnose, 150 for a new battery. Okay? Um, so all that happens. Yeah, $300 in at this point. They tell me at the dealership, all right, yeah, you got a couple of open recalls, but we're going to take care of those free. Cool. Awesome. I take it in, I get the open recalls taken care of. On my way home from the open recalls, same thing happens. Check hybrid system, battery goes out, car ends up on the side of the road. I have to do whatever I can to get it to start back up. Right? Call them, bring it back in. It's going to be another 150 to get it diagnosed again. So we're at 450 at this point, right? Yeah, take it back in. The computer needed to be updated, which is not in my warranty with the car. So another 150. We're at $600 in 5 days at this point with the hybrid, right? So you're starting to understand. All right, yeah, I see why Xander didn't have the hybrid for long. Um, After that, two tires were needed on the hybrid as well. Another 300, nearly $1,000, which was my entire savings spent on the hybrid in the space of a week. So yeah, $900 a week, which was my entire savings, which my savings have not even sniffed triple digits since then, because shit keeps happening. I have some really good luck, clearly. Fucking clearly. They're talking about it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. I'm at my fucking limit. That's where I'm at. For me, it's about fucking limits, which is what I'm at mine of. Like, I try to be a good person. I believe in karma. I believe you put good energy out there, you do good things will happen to you. You do bad things happen. I like to think I'm a good person. I try and be nice to people. I put out content into the world that people enjoy. I try and do good things. I try and be a good man. You know, I try not to judge others. I try and help people where I can, whether that be financially when I can, emotionally where I can, and everything. And the universe just keeps responding like fucking Mona Lisa from Parks and Rec. Money, please! That's what the universe does every time it thinks that I'm financially stable. It's like, hey, how about you don't be financially stable for a little while? Like, and I know this has just been Xander bitches about his finances for 30 minutes, the stream so far, or for 42 minutes, the stream so far. And for that, I do apologize. But, like, I've had no way to vent about this all day because my entire audience today has been 12-year-old children who were one of the worst groups of 12-year-old children I've ever had to deal with as a substitute teacher. So I'm kind of at my limit already. As I put it to my roommate when I was getting set up for stream tonight, I hope a motherfucker tries tonight. As in, I hope some troll comes in here and tells me I need a haircut, or tells me, you know, they don't like a choice I made in universe and that makes me stupid, or that I picked that I do it, or that like my universe isn't original because I used a belt design they didn't fucking like and they can't get over themselves to accept that maybe I like a belt even though they don't, and it's my fucking series, not theirs. I don't know. I might be projecting a little bit here. Oddly, we're doing good numbers over on the live viewer number, so maybe people just like me being pissed off. It's also a little therapeutic for me, I'll admit, being this angry. Because, like, it's been a while since I've been able to get this angry on a live stream. And I'm just letting it out right now while I watch Mike Bailey and Leon Slater cook. Mike Bailey's gonna win. I know he is. That's why I'm not, like, super closely watching. The TNA watch alongs, I think many people kind of know, are in a way kind of a way for Xander to just get extra 2 hours a week to do like website updates and stuff like that. Oh my god. Rage KO moment. No. Rage KO ain't got jack shit on where I'm at mentally right now, Zach. Like I said, I hope a motherfucker comes in the chat and tries tonight. I hope someone tries to come in here tonight and push me to the edge. JT, like, love you, bud. Tonight's not the time to push the buttons, is what I will say. I ain't gonna snap at you, but oh, maybe you can relate to some of it, and that's why you don't mind the venting. Yeah, and I'm glad I've got people who are fairly understanding. It's like, I'm human. You know, I might seem like a fucking machine with how much content I pump out in a week, which, you know, in its own right is insane that I do Raw and NXT and main event and LAW and another indie and a pay per view, usually most weeks, and sometimes a retro show in the same week. And then everything else I do, and the watch alongs, and stuff for the Patreons, and I have a whole other side hustle that you guys know nothing about and never will. No, it's not OnlyFans, I swear. What my therapist that I no longer have asked me once was, where do you find time to sleep in all of this? And my response was, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't have time to sleep. And it's torturous because sometimes I will admit I do lie there awake at night. Like I could be up doing so much stuff right now, but my stupid human body needs me to sleep so I don't die. Xander OnlyFans confirmed. No, no, I don't have an OnlyFans. Like, I make the joke that I have a side hustle that I can't tell you guys about, and it seems like that's what it would be, but no, it's something I do under a different name. So, like under a different username. It has nothing to do with the LS11 branding. So, and I keep it separate because it's not embarrassing, but it's like I just don't want. I don't know. It's hard to explain, right? It's a little hard to explain for me. Essentially, I don't want anyone who might find it to link it to me and go, oh, Xander from LS11 also does this. And then Because then, like, it's a slippery fucking slope, honestly. Because it's like then all the comments and chats on that platform and that media that I make would all be people like, oh, can you believe this is Xander from Alice 11 Universe? And then people over here on these channels be like, oh, can you believe this is blah, 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 from blah, blah, blah. I know, real descriptive, but it's also my way of just, you know, not saying what it is. It's nothing bad. Like I said, it's nothing illegal, obviously. And the thing that honestly bothers me most is like I know good and well how I'm going to handle affording the the car stuff. I'm just not looking forward to it. Like essentially, I'm probably going to be like saying goodbye to a few of my cherished things on the game shelf over here because I know they're worth a decent penny. Yeah, people will judge. So but yeah, pretty sure Leon Slater ain't winning this. And the only reason I say that, and I hate that this is how I have to think about TNA nowadays, but it's like he's probably not winning this because there have been no title change at TNA taping reports lately. Oh my god. Excuse me. Been a day, is what it's been. It's been a day. On the bright side, I got a little frustrated yesterday and just did the delete all unused image buttons because I had 500 unused images and it didn't mess up anything. So, you know, I got a little lucky on that one. And now I'm having to edit having to do a little bit of editing to someone on the LAW roster's attire just because it's someone I'm friends with, so I don't mind doing it. Like my kind of mindset with LAW is if we're buddies, like if we're buddies behind the scene, I don't mind editing your character just a little bit for you. But like you guys know, my big pet peeve is when people just take another wrestler's attire and give it to themselves. Like that's kind of my big no-no of all of this is I don't like it when people do that because it just like you want to call something unoriginal. You want to say, "Oh, Xander, you're using the new NXT titles," and I don't like those. Therefore, you're unoriginal. Even though you have a bunch of completely original stories going on right now, and you have your own original championships. And I'm sorry, anyways, venting again, projecting a little even. Um, right. Anyway, I don't mind. You know, I don't mind the occasional little bit of tweaking of the tires for friends. But what is unoriginal to me is when you just take like, oh, I'm just going to be in, you know, this isn't who it was, but like this isn't the wrestler in question. But it's like, oh, I'm just going to copy paste Seth Rollins' as attire onto myself and call it a day. I had a lot of people do that. I had plenty of. Man, do you know how many people tried to make themselves the tribal chief of LS11, like of LAW and LSWF? It got old quick, man. It got old quick. Has TNA been any good? I don't really watch it that often. I like it a lot. It's my favorite. It's my favorite company. It doesn't have my favorite weekly show. A lot of the shows are just TNA is TNA is the best way to put it. Like you know what you're getting. You're not going to get a 5-star show every week. You'll probably get a 3-star show right down the middle every week, and it's going to be enjoyable. And you're going to like and like if you're a TNA fan like I am, you're going to enjoy it. If you're if you're a diehard TNA hater, well, you're not going to like it. Like TNA unfortunately catches strays from some people, even though it doesn't deserve it. Like had someone that I no longer follow. I followed them because they were at one point, in my opinion, influential to the 2K modding community, but they've kind of been surpassed at this point by other modders and other innovations to the point where I don't need to follow them anymore because they are the biggest AEW tribalistic person I've ever seen. Like was worshiping CM Punk a year ago and talking about his match of the year with Samoa Joe and stuff, and now CM Punk stands for corporate machine punk to this guy. The Motor City Machine Guns are washed now, even though 3 months ago AEW was going to be cooking with them. You know, one of those kind of people. TNA catches a lot of strays from that person because they'll just be like, "Oh, I can't even watch Collision anymore. It's as bad as TNA." Like TNA's perfectly fine. Yeah, tribalism is unbearable. And wouldn't you know it, the only people that are like tribalism's good for wrestling are the tribalistic ones. They're like, "Oh, you don't think there was tribalism in the Monday Night Wars?" Yeah, sure, there was. Sure, there was, and I'm sure it was just as annoying back then as it is now. It's like, do I like what's going on with TNA? Or no, do I like what's going on with AEW right now? Not really. It's not my thing. Do I want them to go out of business? Not at all. It immediately tells me they live in their mother's basement. Right. There's nothing wrong with living in your mother's basement. Like I had to live in my dad's attic for years. I lived in an apartment built onto my grandparents' house until a year ago. Until 18 months ago. Like nothing wrong with living with relatives. It's just a matter of what you make of it. Yeah, make something of yourself. My grandparents were helping me. I was working every day, A substitute teacher then, I'm a substitute teacher now. I'm just in a different city. You've lived in your parents' garage. Exactly. So like there's nothing wrong with living in your parents' house, in my opinion. It's just a matter of you gotta have some kind of life outside of that. You gotta be making something of yourself there. I do like this Leon Slater kid. I don't know too much about him, but like I don't know too much about Leon Slater. I know he comes from the UK. I know he's the champ, or at least at one point in time, he was the champion of North Wrestling in the UK. Mainly because Tom Campbell is the commentator and ring announcer there. So that's how I know what I do know about Leon Slater. But I do like him in the ring. He's pretty good. Yeah, that's a Mike Bailey dub. Honestly, I feel better now that I've gotten all that venting out of my system. Like, I really do feel better getting all of that out of my system. And I do appreciate everyone who listened because I most certainly needed that. Like, I was super tense and I've been tense for a while, especially because like it's now 9 o'clock at night and I've got to get my car fixed tomorrow so that I can go back to working on Monday without having to cancel another day of work because the more days of work I cancel, the more expensive it's gonna get. Um, but I don't know. I'm probably just gonna have to bite the bullet and get the and pay for a $400 service fee. My wife, God love her, has offered to buy the alternator for me just to help me out a little bit because I'm in such a financial situation right now. Like, so for those that don't know, because not everyone's here for every stream, right? I used to work at a corporate job, an 8 to 5, get there at 8, get an hour lunch break, leave at 5. Right. That used to be my job. Okay, it's gonna be Mike Bailey versus Vikingo at Bound for Glory. All right, that'll be fun. Anyways, yeah, no. So I used to work in a corporate 8 to 5, 40 hours a week. Bigger paychecks, more money an hour. But I don't talk about it too often because the last year or so that I was at that job was a pretty dark time in my life. Like the money was nice, but you guys could kind of tell on these streams, I think. I was not happy. I you guys do not understand how depressed I was for the last year. You can kind of see it on live streams leading up to the day that I announced I was quitting my job to you guys, or leading up to the day that I announced to you guys I'd quit my job. I was miserable. I was like in some of the worst mental state I'd ever been in. And so in my mind, and it wasn't anything for the purpose of like making sure that in case anyone that worked with me at that job sees this and knows, it was nobody at that job. It was that I was a square peg trying to fit in a round hole. That job was just not for me. For someone else, that's the perfect job. Just not for me. I'm grateful for the people that were there. I'm grateful for like every opportunity I got there. I'm grateful for things I learned there. I am. I truly am. But it just wasn't for me. Right. And so I bet on myself and I went back to substitute teaching because as I've kind of mentioned a few times now, like you guys have kind of heard me talk about it a little bit, my passion is to be a teacher, to be a college professor one day, but starting at like a high school level because that's going to be the easier way to get in. And so I left that job and I now am substitute teaching as I try to get a teaching certificate and get to the collegiate level. And it's not going to be easy. Like nothing really ever is easy in life as we all know, but I had to bet on myself. I Because I was getting to the point where I didn't even want to do I didn't even want to do YouTube anymore. Right? Like I didn't even want to do YouTube anymore. That's how miserable it was making me to do that job. And as I said already, yeah, it was, nobody and nothing at that job could have made it better, and nobody at that job made it worse. Like, I was just genuinely miserable. And ultimately, I got out of there and then started substitute teaching again. But the thing with substitute teaching is I took a huge pay cut, and that has been a struggle the last 2 months now. since that all happened. It's been a huge struggle because I went from making, $2,500 a month roughly, like anywhere between 1,800 to 2,500 a month, to guaranteed maybe 1,600 a month, and my bills are 1,300 a month. So $300 of wiggle room, 3 days a month that I can be off, and that's assuming I work every day of the month. $300 of wiggle room for gas, groceries, and things like that. So it's been a little rough. It's a big part of why I've been plugging the Patreon so much and trying to sell more of my stuff on eBay and all of that kind of stuff, because it is getting a little stressful. I'll admit, like it's getting a little stressful, and I'm trying not to take that out on people. I'm trying not to. I'm trying. I'm desperately trying to not seem um I'm desperately trying not to seem like I'm just begging you all to give me your money for content I make for free. Because, that's not how I like to be ever. And I hope you all know that. Like, I truly hope you all know that I am not ever trying to be that way. Whew. It's never been my intent, it's never been my prerogative. So, when I do ask for, anything financially, okay, we're getting the Hardys in a car for some reason. All right, then. Um, So I try to incentivize it when I do have to ask fans for financial support. I try to make it worth everyone's while. That's why I do so much on the Patreon. It's why I give members early access. It's why I do all that stuff. It's like, I know $2 a month doesn't sound like a lot. Um, I know $2 a month doesn't sound like a lot to someone, like to some people, but I also completely understand that to a lot of people, that's the difference between paying a bill. That's the difference between overdrafting your account. Because I've been there. $2 was the difference between my account overdrafting and not earlier today. So I get it. I totally get it. That is why I don't sit there and that's why you're never gonna hear me being like certain streamers, like you know the one. I don't remember her name, and I'm not gonna I'd name drop her if I did. Some of you will probably know where she's like, you can afford to watch me all the time, but you can't afford $5 or whatever. It's like, you don't owe me anything. None of you owe me anything. I do this for free. I put certain things behind a paywall for people that want them. But like I've said, you're never going to see me lock like Raw or NXT or a full premium live event or anything like that behind a paywall, because that's just shitty, right? I would never do something like that. You don't owe me anything, JT. You really don't. Like, none of you guys owe me anything. I do this because I love it. And I will stop this the day I don't love it anymore. And that's not going to be anytime soon. Because I love this. When I thought I didn't love this anymore, I couldn't stop myself from coming back. Because I did truly love it. Right? And I get that. I get that my videos have helped a lot of you through very rough times. And for that, I'm forever humbled. Like, I am very humbled at the fact that my stupid voice, my smug face, my big trucks are gonna eat the little trucks, and stuff like that have gotten people through tough times. Like Zach's mentioned, I got him through physical therapy when he was going through that. That's humbling. JT saying I got him through a tough time in life. That's humbling. I had someone who was like, who was in bed sick that discovered the original universe mode and said that I was helping him feel better. That stuff's humbling, man. Like, it brings tears to my eyes, genuinely, when you guys say that kind of stuff to me. But never, never do I think that, oh, because I did this, because I made you feel better, you owe me something financially. You don't. I do this because I love it. And I do this because I love each and every person that watches as a fan. In the parasocial way that a creator loves their fan base. Like, I didn't mean for it to get so philosophical, so existential tonight, but I kind of needed it. I don't go to therapy anymore because my therapist financially screwed me over earlier this year. Like, she screwed me out of $500 and overdrafted my bank account because she didn't put in any of our any of our previous 5 sessions and then put them all in at once. But yeah, so very very humbling experience being a creator with a fan base the way I do. I watched your vids a lot during COVID. It really helped during that very tough time in the world. I have nothing but respect for you. Well, thank you. And like honestly, I love everything I did in the early days of the channel. Right? Like the early just Raw, NXT, and SmackDown days on 2K19. Crazy to think about those days. The experimental days on the channel, right? Like the early experimental days of the channel are so crazy to think about. Where we were throwing things at the wall to see what stuck. We did the GM mode. We did fantasy booking on LS11 Universe. And it's like, and I want to do more WrestleLuigi stuff. I just coming up with videos that, quite frankly, coming up with videos that Santi doesn't beat me to the fucking punch on is impossible. That and the indies made me really busy again. I didn't realize what I was doing with that. And I'm trying to take more time to myself to just not do this much stuff. Like, I'm doing 2 indies this week just to test if it's even possible. Is it stupid of me to do so? Yeah. Man, those early days of the pandemic were crazy times for LSLM Universe because, like, I just went for it. Ray and I just went for it. We got really lucky. Things caught fire. I have my issues with Wrestle Talk nowadays with the way they do things, with some of their. I don't have personal issues with some of their presenters. I really don't. I just don't particularly enjoy the presentation of some of their presenters, is the best way to put it. I don't enjoy watching some of their presenters. In fact, some of their presenters are like nails on a chalkboard nowadays for me. Um, and I'm not naming names for obvious reasons, but um, but like that early boost I got from being a prominent member of their community, I am grateful for. Like I don't enjoy the content that the Wrestle Talk guys put out anymore. That's why I don't watch them or talk about them anymore. But like I will forever be grateful to Luke Owen for bringing me on that stream for 15 minutes. Like I'll be forever grateful that he brought me to that stream. Oh man. But yeah, no, it's like we had a weird couple. It was a weird like early year on the channel, and like it does frustrate me sometimes, and I talk about this a decent bit. It does frustrate me that I put as much, and sometimes I'll admit more work into universe than a lot of the bigger universes do. But I don't get the same recognition. And I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing different. I don't know what I'm doing that they, or what I'm not doing that they are. Oh yeah, Josh, you're an OG. You're definitely an OG. I remember seeing you in a couple of the season one things, or season two. Season two was our breakout season, right? Because like we got our little influx of viewers from the whole Wrestle Talk thing that happened with me right in time for the first WrestleMania. You said that I was homegrown here in TNA, and Steve Macklin was a TNA man. At one point, I thought you and I were alike. Very much so. Not like these two. I thought you and I could have been a team. The more you show your true colors, the more you keep being this, whatever this is, of the Northern Armory. But yeah, um, I'll admit, it bothers me that when I go to my YouTube studio, I'll check that I can do this safely. It bothers me that when I go into YouTube Studio, my most viewed videos, I've got 5 videos that have cracked 10K views in 5 years. And like this is just a first hour for some people nowadays. Like, it's just a first hour for a lot of universe modes. 20K views, that's just the first hour for Gore and Perkins. 20K views, that's a pay-per-view's first day for JC Pentagon. 20K views, that's light work for a Murph's What If. What am I not doing? What am I doing wrong? Like, I hate to put it this way, and this isn't a call out to any of them. Is it because I'm not part of the little crew? Is it because none of them are really um is it because I'm not friends with those guys behind the scenes? I don't know. I really don't know. I know universe mode is kind of a dying thing. Like, it wouldn't shock me if it's not in the game at some point, because 2K doesn't really seem to care about it. Plus, if they get rid of it now, in 3 years, they can bring it back and say, hey, look at this new thing we're introducing. Universe mode's back. Tell me why. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. But actually, tell me the reason. It's a nice little callback there with me doing the I want it that way quote. If you haven't seen it before. See if I can find it. I don't think Alex is home. You guys want to see a weird, like, dystopian past of 2019 in pretty good shape, Xander, in a second here. Just gotta go back a few years on the channel to find it. Let's see. There we go. In case you wondered why I was so quick to burst into I want it that way. This is right when all the Kappa stuff started, by the way. Oh no. Look at this Twilight Zone picture, huh? Skinny, short hair, next to no beard, fat, bushy beard, long hair. Weird times, man. But yeah, there you go. That's where the I want that way came from. I gotta get a better, sound mixer, better audio production for that kind of stuff. Maybe a Zan Street Boys album reboot is due to happen sometime this year. Never know. Maybe, maybe not. Yours Mode fans feel like it's not eye-catching thumbnail with endless HLR highlight reel clips put together in AI voices that don't sound at all like the actual wrestlers and the creator isn't authentic. Yeah, crazy 2019 is 5 years ago, right? Or they're not putting enough effort into their content. Right, I don't like the AI voices for um like I don't like the AI voices trying to replicate wrestlers, right? Like not to kill the magic, right? Um No, go ahead and tell us the story, Zach, of how you found Universe. That's fine. Not to ruin the magic a little bit, but like we all know that Eliza Blackstone is known as an LS11 original for a reason. Like, I have a picture of me with all of my siblings, all two of them. I only have two siblings. I have an older brother and a younger brother. Right, right. We're not doing the kayfabe thing here, so not really looking for any of those jokes in the chat, right? So not to ruin the magic too much here, but we kind of all know. We kind of all know. Like I'm trying to find the picture from the wedding of me with my siblings because I don't want to pull up the one that's me, my siblings, and my parents because both of my parents have very distinctly asked me before to make sure that they're not that I don't accidentally spread their pictures on the internet. And I've always tried to be very respectful of that to my parents, just out of love for them. Like my parents might drive me fucking crazy some days. It's all about eye candy thumbnails and short. And I feel like our thumbnails are pretty appealing. Like I hate to say it, I hate to say it. I've gone full Murphs with the universe style thumbnails, but it's just because I do find them more appealing. And I'll admit it here and now. I find what we've done more appealing than you know. Let me just get the channel pulled up to prove my point here a little bit because it seems my point with the siblings thing is going to take a minute. So, but like this wasn't why is the Raw theme playing? Hold on. Why is it echoing? Why is it echoing? What the hell? That was weird. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not. I had the microphone muted or I have my desktop audio muted, so I'll turn it back on in case something weird like that happens again because I don't know what's going on. All right, we should be able to know. So let's go all the way to the beginning, right? Yes, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet's still happening this year.
Oh, it's amazing. This is the sixth consecutive Call Your Shot Gauntlet match at an Alpha Tour. We don't have the fancy analytics and statistics like you have at NXT. We have to use a little bit old school device. As my father used to say, the brain is the most dangerous weapon. No, no. It's amazing. The winner can challenge for any title they want for 1 year. Anyone can compete. Man, woman, child, children. I mean, if their parents sign the waiver, hey. Oh, well,
Rude.
TNA World Title opportunities all year. Most of your fault, job. Do the right thing. Right now, do the right thing. You can't come in here and talk to me like that. I'm already working.
Ariana Grace is so good just with her facial expressions. No. They did not just tease the idea that they might put the belt on Hendry just to have Kaz cash in, call your shot immediately. God, please, no. Yeah, give it a minute. We're still going. We're still going. I'm scrolling. Hell, I'll let you guys watch while I do this, actually, because it's kind of funny. Kind of funny watching it happen. I'm just letting it kind of scroll on its own. I I don't have any thoughts on that, JT. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know. We're almost there. I can see the early. We're down to double digits of the original universe. Soon it's about to. We're into the single digits of the original universe. It's about to be just ARW in a second here. I just want to take a little field trip down memory lane of how LS11 Universe has evolved in the 5 years the channel's existed. Because next week's our 5 year anniversary. 29th is the 5 year anniversary of the first actual episode, but you can see the channel's been around for 5 years. But like, it started with ARW, right? And this is actually not what the ARW thumbnails used to look like. This is more like what the ARW thumbnails used to look like, was this with two characters on either side. Actually, just like the original universe. And so then eventually I went back and I redid every ARW thumbnail to remaster it to an extent. Like even the specials got revamped thumbnails like that and that because I didn't like the originals because um let's see. Like this is what it used to look like for ARW special thumbnails. So I got the first like 4 done and then I quit. But yeah, so like ARW is not a good place to start unless you see like this as the original ARW thumbnails. But then, we started with universe mode. And hold on. We started with universe. Hold on, actually, funnier idea. We started universe. No, wait, no. There's 2 people that have to be covered on that one. Sorry, Johnny. Um, wait, even funnier idea. Never mind. I had it backwards. I was gonna put myself just over Gargano, and I realized that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. Right. So originally we had just the background, the logo, universe mode, episode number, 2 most important people, 3 most important people on an episode. Right. You can see it got a little. It's kind of funny seeing like where things changed over time. This episode's always so funny to look back on as well. Episode 7, because little did I know how much history was going to come from this episode. Right. Just kind of a little side tangent here. Oh my god. Oh, this old format. But yeah, a little bit of unexpected history back in the day here, huh? Their actual first encounter was on that episode. Do I want to know what those notifications are? Let me do this off screen just to be safe. Okay, it's fine. You guys could have seen those. It was fine. Had to make sure there were no hate comments in there, you know? But like early days of the channel, the early thumbnails, it was just this. And it was this for a while even as well. Like this is just what it was for all of 2K19. Or 2K20 into 2K19, because it was here where it went back to 2K19, but it still said 2K20 on the thumbnails for the first couple months. Like you'll see it drop to just 2K at some point. Also, never forget that ARW had the original video packages. Why is James Storm in that thumbnail? JT, do you not know about this? Hold on. Yeah, a little history lesson for you here.
Ram staring a hole in the Intercontinental Champion.
A little history lesson for you here. The Dirty Dogs existed for one episode. Also, if you heard that, the commentary used to be turned on.
Well, Maru just walked away while Ziggler was getting pinned.
And yeah, on this very first episode of SmackDown,
That's James Storm.
James Storm showed up.
Has him up in the crucifix position and just drops it.
And that was in part because there were rumors going around in late 2019 that Paul Heyman was looking to get James Storm brought into WWE to be on Raw with Bobby Roode. But yeah, there's that little side tangent there. But yeah, like you can see the early thumbnail days of like early 2K universe having these very similar thumbnails here, and like I'll be honest, these wouldn't really catch my. These are what I call the Brendan Plays thumbnails. I love Brendan, I do. He was the big inspiration for me to get into universe, but you know these thumbnails, looking back at them now, not great. This is comedy gold though. This right here is comedy gold. You might wonder why does Ray have a fake mustache? Well, it's because my punishment for losing that show was I had to shave, and
the current predictions champion.
yeah, this was what I looked like for a little while.
Isn't that right, Sylvie?
Oh yeah, and the real ARW World Title. Yeah, because remember, for those that don't remember, I actually had a real ARW World Title commissioned, and it's why the ARW World Title got turned silver. I should have made it gold. I acknowledge that nowadays. Should have made it gold, but you know, it happened. It's fine. I do think it's funny. You can also see this is where ARW moved to PC. You can see just the distinct change in quality of the thumbnails alone on that. But yeah, every creator was sticking to 2K19 at the time. Yeah, and I don't know why I had the 2K20 logo on here for so damn long as well. It's like first thing to reach episode 100. Well, actually, these both hit episode. It was funny. Both series hit episode 100 in the space of the same couple days, which was actually intentional. And really funny thing here is I want this to sink in for a moment. Everyone knows, right? Like everyone knows that now it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. We do the actual days the shows air on. This thumbnail's staring into my soul. This came out on my birthday, right? This was my birthday, actually. My birthday in 2020, that would have been 4 years ago. It was on a Friday. It was on a Thursday this year. Yeah. My birthday was on a Thursday this year, right? Fuck, I can just do this. Yeah, this came out on a Saturday. There was a period in time where Universe was just kind of uploaded as I had time. Because, like, you can't see it on here very well, but there were periods of time where there were, like, 2 weeks without Universe. Like, there were 2 or 3 weeks without Universe episodes. Not anymore. Also, for those that wondered, so Xander, what did ARW do to celebrate its 100th episode? You might wonder. This. Actually, with a little bit of this first.
Introducing the challenger from X, training Young Xander LS 11.
Yeah. Highlight of my YouTube career is that we got Tom Campbell on the. Tom Campbell is part of the LS11 universe canon. He is. Like, there he is, right there. That was actually him. There's a reason, like, that's why his name appeared on there as well. Because that's actually him doing the voiceover of himself as my personal ring announcer. Also, ARW was the, ARW, the first show to have win-loss records. And this actually used to pop up in the corner of ARW every episode. When someone was making their way to the ring, I had to keep a live win-loss tally because I actually had it divided up by singles and tag records as well. And every person had their own personal logo here as well of some kind. So like you'll see me, I have the LS11 logo. But then Sephiroth did have his own special as well. His own little intro.
Comes the W.
Yeah, so there you go. Sephiroth had the one-winged angel logo. Right, that's a fantastic question, JT. Let me kind of get the punchline out of the way here,
Heavyweight
and then I will tell everyone how that happened.
Sephiroth.
So, how does
Marches
ARW
down
celebrate
to the
100
ring.
episodes?
Group 4. Avalanche. Pedigree. To stay in the ARW. To become the ARW champion. 1, 2. He's done it.
By just some random YouTuber winning the world title from the one-winged angel, you know.
Mania runs wild.
I'm a former ARW champion, never forget.
What?
Only to then immediately get cashed in on.
Kicks him in the ribs. 1. He kicked it. Them.
Only to immediately get cashed in on, hit with a stunner,
2, 3.
and beat in the same episode. Within the same show. Right, so, how did I get Tom to be in the show? That's a fantastic question. And there's a story to that, actually. It was 2020. Yeah, it was early. It was actually late 2019 when this all happened. This all came together nearly a year ahead of time. It was late 2019. I was in the best shape of my life. I was having a great time. I was in college. Only thing that had happened that had gone wrong was my great-grandfather, who pretty much raised me, had just passed. I was using Twitch as a way to cope with that. I was streaming almost every day for hours a night. Had a good following over there. Hadn't even started LS11 Universe yet. ARW was kind of happening. Kind of was, kind of wasn't. It was late September, early October. And I was in a journalism class. One right there, the one that got one of the many classes that got me that degree up there. As for those that don't remember, I have a degree in journalism with minor in German. Cannot sprechen Sie Deutsch at all, though. Tom Campbell, being the wholesome human being that he is, puts out a tweet. He says, "How's everyone doing today?" And I said, "I've been having a little bit of a rough week, Tom, but I'm trying to push through. Thank you for asking." I said, "I hope you're doing good as well." And he responded with, "Sorry to hear that, fella. Hope everything's working out better for you. I'll try to watch you on stream tonight." He clicked onto my profile to see to kind of see who I was. And I tweeted like 20 minutes earlier, getting back to Skyrim tonight with a gif of Thor riding Nyan Cat because I'd been doing a Skyrim Let's Play on stream where I was role playing as Thor in Skyrim, which was really cool. I was a Nord, and I had the God of Thunder uh, mod installed, so I had Mjolnir and Stormbreaker as my weapons and everything. It was a lot of fun. And he unfortunately had to go to bed before the stream started, but he followed me. And he could not have followed me at a better time, because I was in the middle of writing a story called New Promotions, New Heights. How AEW and NXT will improve how the Wednesday Night War will strengthen the wrestling world, not weaken it. And I needed sources to talk to. I needed 3 sources to talk to about it. And I'd talked to another wrestling fan on campus. I had talked to oh boy, Kaz is making his way to the ring. I had talked to another wrestling fan on campus. I had talked to a professor who had experience in like TV ratings and stuff. And I was like, I need one more. I'd reached out to a few people. I'd reached out to some wrestlers that never responded to me. Like, obviously they weren't going to get back to me. But Tom followed me, which meant I could DM Tom. So I shot my shot. I said, "Hey Tom, thanks for the follow." I said, "Hi Tom, hope you're doing well. Thanks for the follow and for your kind words. They really helped me today. Not to bother you too much, and I know this is a big stretch. I don't remember, this might not be verbatim what I said, but I don't want to go peeping in my DMs with him. I don't want to, leak my DMs with him because that'd be rude. And he and I haven't talked in like 3 years, so I don't want to be rude. He doesn't even follow me anymore, which, all I really post now are links to the videos, so I get it. I wouldn't follow me either. But either way, I was like, I'm in college and I'm doing a report on the NXT AEW Wednesday Night Wars that are about to start. Could I possibly bother you for a little 5-minute, call to get some quotes? Or could I possibly bother you for 5 minutes on a Discord or a Skype call or something to get your opinions as a wrestling content producer? And 20 or so minutes pass. I get a response, "Hi Xander, that sounds awesome. I'd love to help you out. What days would work for you?" And I said, "Actually, I'm on fall break next week. Would Monday or Tuesday at some point work?" And he said, "Absolutely. How about 3 p.m. British time?" And I just did a quick thing. I'm like, I'm in Georgia. He's in England. So 3 p.m. his time minus 5 hours. That's 11 a.m. my time. I said 3 p.m. works perfect. That's 11 a.m. my time. 10 a.m. my time. 10 a.m. my time. So 10 a.m. comes. He gives me his Skype info and everything. And what was really surreal was I had just watched him on the Cultaholic News that morning, and he was wearing a Rick and Morty shirt. He picks up the Skype chat wearing the same shirt, obviously. And I was like, this is so... I even told him, I was like, this is so surreal. I just watched you doing the news a few minutes ago. And I got his permission. I was like, all right, are you good if I record like the audio from this? And he was like, of course, yeah, go ahead. And I still got the audio. And it was lovely. He was just a lovely man, was that Tom Campbell. I only asked him for 15 minutes of his time. He gave me 45. Because he's a fucking champ, is that Tom Campbell. He gave me 45 minutes. I only asked him for 15. Right? Like, and you can see I even still have the conversation on my phone. I'm not going to play any of it for you because it was a private conversation. And it was for my school stuff. But he was just such a nice guy. And so you're wondering, well, where's this tie into the ARW thing? Right. So, moving on from that, article actually gets published by my school in their newspaper and everything. It was really cool. It was a big moment of pride for me. It was my first time getting published. First time I was ever published. One of many times now that I was published as a writer. And now that I'm writing my book, which is going to be a wrestling mystery novel, which I'm really excited about, I can share a little more details on it now, which is really cool as well. I'm getting close to having a synopsis ready for it as well, and I'm actually going to get into the actual writing part pretty soon. But yeah, no. About 6 months pass. We get into 2020. World shut down and everything. I start doing voiceover work on Fiverr. Right. I start doing Fiverr voiceover work. We're in like early April. Right. So we're 3 months out from when Tom appeared on the channel. It's early April. I've been doing voiceover work a lot. I've been doing it specifically. I've been doing voiceover work a lot for a specific YouTube channel, and I'm trying to think of what they're called right now. But it was like a list video channel. Oh, what's it called? Welcome back to. Let me find it. I can just go in my DMs on Fiverr and find it. What was he called? He was from overseas. Um, God, can I find any of my gigs from him? Here we go. Here we go. It was for Lord Gizmo. That was the name of the channel. And I will plug them because I was really proud of my work with them. They are a channel that have 377,000 subscribers. And if you go back many upon many of years now, all the way back into the bright year of 2020, I had to go digging for it a little bit. 4 years has been a while. It's been a while. God, they are doing a lot nowadays. The worst part is I can't go in my YouTube history to just try and search for which videos I was looking for because I had to clear my YouTube history not long ago because YouTube was recommending me. YouTube was just spitting me into the middle of videos anytime I tried to rewatch something. All right, have a good night, Josh. Was it it? Yep, here we go.
Another video from Lord Gizmo.
Oh no, that wasn't it.
The
That
first
wasn't it.
clip comes from AR.
This is where I'd first gone to their channel. So hold on. Want to see if I can. Apparently, I was part of their startup video. Like I was early on in their videos. Was it this one that I was in? I did like 6 videos for them, 6 or 7. But I am on several people's YouTube channels uncredited as the narrator. You guys probably wouldn't have come across it because most of you are just wrestling fans, and that's all you watch on YouTube. I get that, but like that's mostly what I did was like I didn't do any wrestling stuff through Fiverr. Wish I had that. Would have been really cool. Let's see here.
Welcome back to another video by Lord Gizmo. Today we have food manufacturing processes. Up first, meat processing factory. Alan is renowned for making the best product of meat within 100% quality and care.
Yeah, that's me. That's my voice. You guys know it pretty well. I was asked to do it fairly monotone and very slowed down compared to my very fast and very hyperactive and very animated voice that I normally have. But it was really cool. It's a really cool experience. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with them. And this does involve the Tom Campbell story. I promise that it does involve the Tom Campbell story. It does. I was poking through Lord Gizmo's channel one evening, just looking at the comments on the videos I did to see if there was anything about the voiceover stuff. And I was one of 2 guys. I was one of 2 people they had doing the voiceover. And the comment on one of my newer videos with them had said, Where's the other voice actor? I like him more than this guy. Or where's the other narrator? I like him more than this guy. And Lord Gizmo had responded with, don't worry, he's not going anywhere. This was temporary. Oh. And that was not meant as Xander's going away. That was like, we're bringing in more people. I was like, okay, I can, like, and he explained that to me because I did like another 4 videos with them after that, and then the well kind of ran dry, and I left Fiverr for a couple of years. Now I'm back, and the well's pretty dry on my end. Like, 11 people have seen my voice acting role. None of them have gone for it. But I am on Fiverr. Anyways, as I just send Tom a DM really quick. I'm just like, hey Tom, I was just like, hey Tom, I'm having a little bit of a rough day. If you don't want to respond to this, there's no pressure. I was just wondering, as someone who does voiceover professionally, how do you deal with the hate comments? Because someone recently commented on a channel I've started helping out with as a freelancer, uh, asking where the other narrators were because they liked me the least. And he responded, and he was very kind. He gave me some very good advice about being able to ignore the haters. And it's part of how I'm able to handle so many of the hate comments nowadays. And I said, hey, while I've got you, I had an idea. And you're more than welcome to say no. And I was like, and of course, if you'd be willing to, I'd be more than happy to financially compensate you for your time. And he said, yes, what's up? And I said, so we've talked about my ARW stuff before, because we talked about it for like 10 minutes during the interview that I did with him. Like at the very end, after we were done, we were just talking life, and he was giving me some advice. It was really nice. I was like, I have a character of myself competing at ARW, and it's gonna be my final match for the company. Could I possibly hire you for a quick little 30-second ring intro to be like my personal ring announcer? And he said, oh, that sounds awesome. Email me the script here, and if it's just a one-time thing, I'll waive the fee. And I was like, oh, awesome. Well, if you change your mind, I definitely will. I'm definitely more than happy to compensate you somehow. And he said, no problem. Just make sure that you, he was like, no problem. Just make sure you do me justice in the game. Because I was the one that made his character. And so that's how it happened. There you go. That's the story. That's the long-winded, nearly 15-minute version of how I got Tom Campbell to be on LS11 Universe. JT, are you even still here after that? Nothing but respect for Tom. Nothing but love for Tom. Would love to, if I go to the UK one day, go to a North Wrestling show and see him in action, like see him commentating, see him ring announcing. I'd love to just get like a nice Triple H point with me and Tom. Like I know he probably has no memory of who I am. Like it's been 4 years since our last interaction. He probably has, or 3 years, 2 years, 2 years. Our last interaction was in 2022. He retweeted or he liked something I posted, hyping him up, and we share kind words every so often on Twitter as well. Even though I try to get off that cesspool of an app, he's a bright spot in it, so I take the wins where I can. Um, and so he probably wouldn't remember me or recognize me, especially now. He wouldn't recognize. A lot of people don't recognize me now. Like people who haven't seen me in a while, it takes them a minute to realize that I'm still me, right? Because of all this I got going on here. Oh man, that is one of my favorite stories, though.
double counting, Tim. Beats the 10 count. Continues. No, yeah, see. Again, with just weeks away from Battle for Glory, Kevin. Biggest show here. It's going to be great. Frankie Kazarian involved in the world title match. How wonderful is that? Biggest show here. It's only fitting that the king of TNA. It's going to be a great part of the start.
God, they're really gonna have Kaz win Call Your Shot and beat Hendry as soon as Hendry beats Nemeth, aren't they?
Keep this in mind. Matt Cardona has just recently been cleared from a major injury. An injury that would have been his career.
Where's the Clay is gonna get booted from Judgment Day? All right then.
Cardona is just taking his time. Yeah, right in his face. Yeah. Sure, this is pretty boy. Ain't so pretty anymore. Cardona eventually never up on the top turnbuckle. It's a live round. It's a live round.
Don't really have many opinions on Carlito getting booted from Judgment Day, I don't think.
You're back here on TNA Impact. This poison matchup continues. The TNA World Champion Nick Neville in trouble right now against Matt Cardona. Cardona fighter with Neville on the top turnbuckle. Thinking about his superplex would join on commentary for some reason. My friend Kazarian with his main event. Some reason.
Oh, that's not how he gets on TV. Coming from a longtime wrestling fan, he kind of brings a lot of nostalgia. Yeah, well, Carlito's fine. I would prefer to see some younger guys getting TV time.
I'll tell you off camera. I'm not gonna tell Steve over here. Put that by Cardona. You know the boys know he's a stooge. He's a cover. Laying shoulder down and a kick outside Neville. And breaking. I understand you're bitter. Nick Neville, considering how number one 10 weeks ago, but you have to admit you're trying to trap this character too long. Silence for this person in the top turnbuckle. TNA's hand behind it right there. Inside leg Cardona. Up in top. Remember, I'm bound for glory 1 week away from Saturday, October 26th, live on pay-per-view and TNA Plus in Detroit. Against Joe Henry and that same PCO Monsters Ball. That Monsters Ball match is going to be as ugly as a Penn State game, I can tell you that.
Oh man.
Saw picture poison play out earlier on tonight at Cardona, trying to put Rhino in the path of being,
Matt Cardona, you could be the man, but there's just one problem you should understand. You were the king of the Indies, and now you're rich, but to me you will always be Edge's bitch. Jesus.
what's your poison, Tom? Pick your poison. Let me guess, Kool-Aid. The light. Convenient love. That's what it is. Very convenient at Shirley Temple.
Oh, right. I was kind of running through the thumbnails, wasn't I? Yeah, so anyway, back on track here. I got a little tangent with Tom. Oh, when did... Okay, so I officially switched to doing 2K on the thumbnails on the Mick Foley and Fiend episode. Got it. Also, Osprey was briefly in NXT. That was a me thing. GM mode started here. The first GM mode episode got some solid views, and I thought, oh, it's gonna continue. Nope. Sure didn't. Time for special announcement. Oh yeah, our initial Patreon announcement video. Remember that? Because we did that, we announced it, and then no one cared, and all the comments were just like, "Still getting Universe today, right?" Uh-oh, here comes PCO. But yeah, no, it's just like I'm looking through here, and it's like the Xander and William Regal tag team, the real men's men, may see them make their return. You never know. I don't have these old GM mode thumbnails anymore. I need to take new promotional images as well. Nemeth with the dub. Ah, the original hardcore scramble. This shit was fun. We were just throwing stuff at the wall early on in the channel, as you can see. Tag Team Warfare. Can't forget this for Survivor Series. There was four. PCO's kidnapping Matt Cardona. He's kidnapping Matt Cardona. This episode right here. No, not this one. Not this one. Never mind. Oh, and Kaz just jumped Nemeth. Which I think means any second now. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Oh god, there's one more week for them to somehow shoehorn Kaz into this title match.
Champion and challenger side by side. Two bags of joy. These idiots manhandling me. I got something. We're all gonna enjoy. It's right here.
Kaz is going to be the referee for some reason.
Official. Special guest referee for the world title match at Bound for Glory will be the king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian.
Oh god, Hendry's not going to win. Hendry's not going to win.
Kazarian pull this on. Nemeth and Hendry for the TNA world title. Refereed by Frankie Kazarian. Bound for Glory.
Could I survive Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah. Because I have. Well, I could not survive a security breach. I am fucking stuck in that game. Maybe I'll restart that and do that on Patreon at some point. Anyway, back to the whole thumbnail thing. Also, JT, you had no reaction to the Tom story. I'm kind of sad about that. Anyway, yeah, so, like, you know, I got a thumbnail come up in a second here I want to talk about specifically. I mean, kind of see Mystique there, almost. One of the weirdest stories I've ever read. LS11 merchandise announcement. You know what I hate about this video? Oh, no, never mind. The dislikes got removed. Like, I put it out, and it was more dislikes than likes. It was only a fucking 2.5-minute video.
My name is Xander, and if you're seeing this, it's a pretty good chance that you're one of the 250 people officially subscribed to the LS11 Universe YouTube channel. If you're not, well, what are you waiting for? It's a fun wrestling gaming YouTube channel. We have a lot of fun there. We're trying to upload every day. We usually get about 6 videos out a week. And to celebrate 250 subscribers, we have now launched a merch shop. The merch shop will be found linked in the tweet that this is going out in and in the description of the YouTube video this is being uploaded as. Because it feels obligatory, the link to the shop is shop.spread.
So that link's actually outdated at this point, so don't worry about that. Our new stuff is Fourth Wall, which I need to update that as well and get it back in the description. But anyway, thumbnail-wise, you know, it's like, now we're in Season 2, and Universal Flashbacks. This is the one that got disliked immediately by someone. Oh, they removed the dislike. Nice. But yeah, Universal Flashbacks was interesting. It was my Patreon exclusive series.
Hello, members of the LS11 Universe. My name is Xander.
Look at the goatee.
First of all, if you're watching this,
Maybe I gotta bring that back at some point.
it is time to announce a new Patreon exclusive series. I realized this week that Patreon only has
Came out on Christmas,
one
by
or
the
two
way.
exclusive things. So it's time to get a bit more, to give a bit more incentive to people.
Also, the black and white Xandermania shirt looked so much better a long time ago. The Xandermania's faded on it a good bit is the issue.
It's the newest series on the channel, Universal Flashbacks. On the podcast, I talk about old bookings and series that happened in the original.
And so,
what are we starting off with?
yeah, I'm gonna let this image sink in for a minute. So what Universal Flashbacks was, for those that don't know, Universal Flashbacks was a series. It was very short-lived. I think it only got 5 episodes, where I would go back in time to the original LS11 universe, the one before this channel, the one on my solo channel, and I would recreate matches from the original series and do, like, essentially tell the story from them. And the first was the Shield versus the Elite, which was one of the final things that I had ever booked before I quit, so it never actually saw the light of day. And then we did this special one as a tribute to Brody Lee. It was actually not from the original series, it was from the scrapped AEW Invasion that would have happened in the original Season 2, which Ray and I have talked about a million times. Oh yeah, I put Carnal in 2K14. Thought that was going to do really well. It didn't. I think I put Carnal in the Hogan era is somewhere in here as well. It's either before or after all of this. Hold on. Well, like you can see, this was the early days where I was really just trying to make things stick. So, let's see. Yeah, I put Carnal in the Hulkamania era. Like a Hulkamania era Carnal right there. I think there's even a Hogan and Carnal match in here somewhere.
Hello, everybody. It's Xander and Kyle. WWE 2K19 on the PS4 for the first time in ages for me. Hogan, of course, the man himself. Honky Tonk Man, Hawk, Greg Valentine, Earthquake, Dusty Rhodes, Cowboy Bob Orton, and Carnal.
So yeah, there's 80s Carnal right here. He was juiced up, yeah, he was oiled up, and he had a mustache.
Yeah, Carnal is looking amazing. Okay, so we got Hogan Piper, we got Honky Tonk Man and Bad Brown, we got Orton Steamboat, that would be a good match, yeah. Perfect Valentine and Ramon, another good match.
This was a fun video, I just hate that it didn't get more views.
And Carnal and the Macho Man again. Hogan beats Piper, Bad Brown beats Honky Tonk Man, Steamboat beats Orton.
And Carnal was feuding with Macho Man for a while. Yeah, look at 80s Carnal right here.
Come on, Macho Man, what you got?
Look at the Carnal verse here. I feel like 80s Carnal needs to make a cameo at some point. Some kind of time travel shit. 80s Carnal. I already know how to do it. Yeah, 80s Carnal needs to show up at some
I'm
point.
gonna share this video that just came out while we're doing this. It's this past week's Raw, Time of Blood is what we talked about. It's the week where Bobby Roode was revealed as the number one contender. Yeah, those regular episodes, I think. I got to see it early because, I dated you. Yeah, I know you do.
Like, we weren't even commentating. We were just watching the match happen. And Macho Man wins.
And it's Macho Man. For special, so no. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, probably. Oh, Carl. That's fine. It's Macho Man. He can get the win for now.
Okay, and then so...
It should be fine. I think we're blabbering on.
Oh my god! Hold on! We glazed over it. Hold on.
It should be fine. I think we're blabbering on over it.
Damn it! Xander! Can we get...
It should be fine. I think we're hopefully
There! Look at this! Arnold and Scott Steiner and Scott Steiner. What? Did I actually download 2 Scotts back then and not Rick? I think I did. But Arnold and Scott Steiner, this was their actual first interaction. How many Arnolds are there? I mean, there's 80s Arnold, there's 2K14 Arnold, there's regular Arnold, there's UFC Arnold.
Okay, Hogan and Conor are teaming up. Oh, I did not even click that shot on me either. Which one was saying that? I don't know. We talk at the same time sometimes. It is very weird. It is very weird. I mean, sometimes it just kind of happens.
Oh, here, you guys can't really hear it.
It's fine. And you have a voice. Alright. Arnold, are we even on the card this week? Yeah, we are, and we get the win, we are winning, son.
Is there RoboCop Arnold? There's not. Okay, let's see 80s Arnold's entrance real quick.
And just click play on the music. Okay, the following contest is for the WWF Championship. Look at this pure beefcake. Oh my god, Arnold. I hate you. I know you do. Cotton, I love you too, though. Thanks.
Oh, good times when Arnold and I were just buddies.
Why does Arnold have Triple H's entrance video? Because we made you from a copy of me.
Oh my goodness. There's been big bubbles.
Arnold.
Scott Steiner.
Sometimes I worry about you.
Yeah, probably.
Ring. I did. That's very weird. Yeah, it's very weird. Like,
Oh, hold on.
come on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arnold just had a power bomb as a finisher in the 80s because it was the 80s.
Connor's gonna win it. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh my god. Oh my god, indeed.
Look at him
You
all
did it.
oiled up in the
I did it.
tights.
You did it. I did. You just beat Hogan. Yeah, I just beat Hogan clean. But you never took the leg drop. No, because nobody kicks out of the leg drop. You know that. Don't be foolish. Yeah, you're right. But Arnold. You pinned Hulk Hogan. Yeah, what is that?
He pinned Hulk Hogan on Fuck Hulk Hogan Day as well.
Arnold is the WWE champion. It's a miracle.
No, Arnold's doesn't work for me. Canceled out Hogan's.
Yeah, I can.
All right, then was there a rematch or something? Yeah, there was a rematch. Oh, did Arnold win the rematch too?
I'm just getting a little old. This is getting a little old. This bitch is not funny anymore. Arnold just wants to end the match. So, like, just take the Arnold bomb, don't kick out,
End the match. Come on, get paid. There, good. Carnal wins the belt back.
So that's how we end the Rock and Wrestling era for Carnal.
Yep.
Worked, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess it did.
Oh my god. Anyway. And then I did 2 episodes. No, I did 1 episode only. Patreon still is the only place you can get it. If you go on here, you'll see it's from years and years ago. Patreon was the only place to get access back in 2020. And I think early 21, actually. To the season mode that I did. And, which this might come back as well. Oh yeah, there's season mode Carnal, which also means... Hold on. Season mode also means, because the episode that nobody ever actually got the chance to see, Carnal ended up in the Uh-Oh, It's Magic story. And for those that don't know what happens in the Uh-Oh, It's Magic story, just for you all to see it just real quick. Who are they playing as in this?
That's it!
Oh, they're playing as Carlito. Let's see. I like it when people are like doing it as like Triple H or John Cena, because it's actually voice acted by those people as well. Okay, Cena. Perfect. So, in Uh-Oh, It's Magic.
He may get the 3 count here.
Carnal never won the WWE title in season mode, is the thing.
We could be looking at a pinfall here, folks.
So, to give you guys an idea of what Uh-Oh, It's Magic does.
Do I love watching her?
Candice Michelle shows
Did you
up,
see that?
bonks you on the head with a
Just hit it
magic
with her
wand,
cute little plastic wand.
Plastic wand, my sooner backside.
Candace.
and Edge gets the win. And then...
Glass jaw there, sport. But you must have the world's softest noggin. You got KO'd last week by a piece of plastic.
Piece of plastic, my ass! What's in that baton? It knocked me out cold and cost me my match.
It's not a baton, it's a magic wand. And the only thing that it's loaded with is magic.
Look here, Wicked Witch of the West. Keep that magic wand to yourself from now on.
What? Wicked Witch? That's it! You and me in the ring tonight.
Oh, a funny thing to share
What?
as well about this.
You gotta be
episode.
kidding. I don't do bikini contests. What the hell?
I know. How about a singles match? I'll see you out there, girlfriend.
Hey, what up, sexy thing? Shut up!
Yeah, so that's the Uh-Oh, It's Magic story.
If this is some kind of
There you go. Canonically, that was the last episode I ever recorded of the Carnal season mode. So canonically, season mode Carnal has been in the Uh-Oh, It's Magic story not long after that cutscene in the Candice Michelle match. For a little while. For 3 years, to be specific. But yeah, then there was the I put Carnal in AEW to see what happened, and nothing really good. That was a pretty bad video. I didn't really like that one. We started doing the tier lists. That didn't do. They did alright, I suppose. And then How Xander Would Book finally started. Which, for those wondering, season mode... Excuse me. This was as far as season mode aired. Rule 32, Carnal is a vibe. It's bad that I know what Rule 32 is, which is just, you know... No, it's 32. It's 32, JT. It's 32. So this is as far as season mode actually aired.
If you're watching this video on YouTube, the following episode is already available on Patreon. Link in the description.
High and dry. Hey, LS11 University, it's Xander, and welcome back to SVR 2007 Season Mode with the boy Arnold Zanzenegger. We're here fresh
So
off
kind of neat thing with
Arnold's
Arnold
WrestleMania win.
in this. So where we got was Arnold and RVD against Flair and Masters. So it was the story where RVD turns on you and betrays you. No, Pierre. 32 is the rule that any male character has a version of themselves where they are a female. That is what it is. 34 is the other thing. 34 is the other thing. I was getting salty in this video. Okay, hold on.
With the freaking spear! Oh, wait, music. I hit him with the spear. Oh, I forgot about that.
Whoa! Put the chairs down. Save it for the ring, tough guy. My God!
Okay, so it's not in this, but Arnold actually came in and voice acted for his season mode stuff. So, like, there was actually a bit where he was like, is he? Look, I know we're not talking right now, but can you do the Wicked Witch of the West bit? I know you're listening in. Okay?
Yeah. Get it right, Wicked Witch of the West. We're not going to have a match tonight. I don't do bikini contests.
Thank you, Arnold. Bring back the tier list. If I could, I would. They just don't get very good views, unfortunately. How Xander would book was fun, the little bit I did, and then Ray did the Finn Balor one. And it's like, I feel like I did pretty good on my rebookings for most stuff. Of course, can't forget the Jack Sparrow thing. With our predictions, the final showdown. This is probably my favorite rebooking I ever did, the Women's Revolution. Because it's called the Four Horsewomen debut because I knew that would get more views. But it was really the Women's Revolution because it started in 2015 and it went all the way to like 2020. Like I did 5 years of booking in one video. It's kind of crazy. Never forget, Joe Hendry was in LS11 NXT at one point. I never forget, former NXT Tag Team Champion Joe Hendry. Let's see. But yeah, okay, there's season mode. You might actually be able to hear a little bit of Arnold's voice acting in this.
If you're watching this video on YouTube,
Maybe not, though. I got heated in this, though. I'll tell you that. I got heated during this series because I'm not good at the old SVR games and their controls. Oh, here we go. Here we go. He's got a mic in this one.
if you're watching this video on YouTube, the following episode is already available on Patreon. Link in the description.
Let's see here. Here we go.
Oh, Stephanie, have you lost it? A cleanup campaign? Have you forgotten? This is Raw, baby.
Let me tell you something, Tom. Raw has always stood for real athletic wrestling. Trans wiggling in their fannies and falling out of the keys. That's not wholesome. And it's not American. So, Punk, you got a problem with that? I'll stop the crap out of you, too.
Okay, Kurt, you and Lita team up, and we'll have a mixed tag team match tonight. If she still remembers what it's like to be a woman.
Oh, I forgot about that transphobic joke. I know Cornell didn't write it, but jeez, I forgot the writing in these games was shitty. Never forget the Undertaker line to a certain deceased wrestler. Me and Bradley in the predictions match. I will never get over it. This was a hand-drawn thumbnail, by the way, the reality check one. Nope, not doing that one, JT. Not even humoring you on that one. But yeah, this thumbnail was actually hand-drawn, which is pretty cool.
Let's see. I think, was Sami Zayn my final? No, Neville was my final rebooking. In fact, I made that render for it, funny enough. Here, I feel like this one's probably one of your favorite rebookings I've done, and how big of a Pac fan you are. Let's see. Ah, Matta. I miss you, bud. Elite GM was popping off when I was doing it for a minute. It started strong, and then it just steadily declined. And by steadily, I mean dropped the fuck off. I did 7 videos, and I had about 15 recorded. I was having so much fun with Elite GM, no one wanted to watch it after the first couple episodes. Might be, though I really did like the Women's Revolution. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one, specifically just because someone summed it up perfectly in a comment, actually. Let me find it real quick. Like, one of the comments on it says, hold on. That's how the women's division should have been booked from the start. And you did a great job with the 4 Horsewomen storyline. And you should try out for WWE Creative, because that's probably why your universe mode is so good. Because you actually build every superstar. Because you built every woman in the women's division with the storylines. Everyone got their time to shine, not just the 4 Horsewomen. That's how it should have been. You did your shit with this. I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan, and even I feel like that's exactly how her career should have went. And Arrested for the women's for the rest of the women's career should have made their way to WWE. WWE needs to hire you for creative immediately. You did a good job. That's why your universe is good. Because you're with stars. You should do the Shield or something. These comments make my day. I have to go back and I go back and read these when I've had a bad day sometimes, because like I don't know who this guy is. He's never commented on anything else other than this. But you, sir, or hold on. Yes, appears to be a sir. You, sir, your comment brightens my day 3 years later still. Let's see if I keep things up. Let's see. I'm just seeing where the big changes in thumbnails start at this point. This is one of the best ARW thumbnails. This is great. I could say something very unhinged about the thumbnail, but I will restrain myself for tonight. Because I know Ray is lurking in the chat somewhere, and he's going to pop in and do who the fuck starts a conversation like that if I make the joke. Oh, never forget Cornell's ARW run, where for some reason there was just a period of time where Cornell wrestled in a Hawaiian shirt. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Yeah, Cornell wrestled in the Hawaiian shirt.
So, ARW management asked you to be here. Yeah, they did.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
You know, they want you to
So this was during like the 8-week period where Carnold was my co-commentator for ARW at the request of you, JT, because you popped into the Bayside Beatdown chat and you were like, this needs a second commentator. And I was like, maybe it does. And so Carnold started doing co-coms with me. But then Carnold couldn't co-com his own match.
Bowser with the win. Yeah, and Carnold will be right back. Why is that? Carnold has a hardcore title defense. Up next.
And so,
well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here at the commentary desk alone. Carl Tanzenegger, due to being the hardcore champion, is going to be focusing on his in-ring duties here at ARW to defend the hardcore championship. ARW management has told me I'm going to be provided with a temporary color commentator for this matchup, though.
Oh, hello everyone. Is this seat taken? Oh, Xander, so good to see you. It's been ages, friend. Hello everyone, it's the Doctor.
This isn't going to end well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is strange. ARW has invited a special commentator for this matchup.
Oh, don't act like you're not excited to have me at the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Doctor, Xander number 6.
Hello, so good to be here, ladies.
Sure does.
Wiped him out on that one.
The Doctor was color commentator
Clothesline.
for a little while.
Going to wear. Yeah, I mean it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Older fans of your channel, anyway. Well, we don't have as, but you know, parody and whatnot. It's not like I'm trying to be a British stereotype. No, you're the Doctor. You're me as the British TV show character Doctor Who for people going to wear. Yeah, I mean it's pretty.
Okay, we're just explaining the joke, I guess. God, 2K19 served us well, man. And then AEW started here as well. Never forget, AEW had its own episode numbers for a while. AEW was fun. The early days of AEW Universe was so neat. This is, honestly, I think this is probably my favorite ARW thumbnail, though. The graveyard with Lady Dimitrescu's hand popping out of a grave. And the tombstones each having different characters, like Captain Falcon's helmet, Jack Sparrow's portrait, Samus's blaster and helmet, Tifa's boots, Spider-Man's mask, Bane's mask. It was so cool. Then let's see. Christmas Spectacular. Let's see. The final run. NXT Fallout. Yeah, let's see. We're coming up on the end of 2K19 here. Yeah, 2K19 served us for 382 episodes of WWE, for 31 episodes of AEW, and for 3 episodes of TNA Impact. Crazy. Also, Jonathan Gresham is technically a former Ring of Honor World Champion, I guess. Oh, yeah, the Johnny World title. And so, yeah, finally, the thumbnails kind of started to change format with 2K22. It was still the same. It was still 2 people in the logo, but it then switched up to them being on the right side of the thumbnail. I don't know what made me change that, but just did. And I feel like the thumbnail quality for pay-per-views got better as well. Like, this is one of my favorites still. Predictions. I think this was the final predictions video as well, was Double or Nothing. That's where we kind of decided, yeah, predictions are kind of dead in the water as their own video. So we just started doing those part of live streams. Yeah, bless the modders. I'd like to do that modded universe at some point that I teased on stream, but I knew what I was doing on this one. I knew what I was doing with this episode number and this thumbnail. I knew. Bayside Beatdown, the original Bayside Beatdown for LSWF. This was a fun show. When LSWF was still going to be ARW mixed with fan characters. The Albatross of Homelander. I can even think to put it. We're actually going to change, so we changed how the numbering system worked as well. Just a real quick thing here. Because you saw it was, WWE 2K Universe, or it was WWE 2K Universe mode, episode number, and then episode title, and then it became episode name, game, episode number. And now it's just episode name, game, right? So we're actually going to change it one more time soon. We're going to change it probably in 2K25. We're going to change it again. Because I've been doing all my search engine optimization learning stuff. Build to Punk Omega. I was like, God, I loved that build, man. I loved that build. Loved it, loved it, loved it. That was one of my favorite matches I've ever recorded as well. Because I did it all on my own, too. I don't even think I did it 2 controllers. I think it was 1 controller. But, that match ate and left no crumbs is what it is. First ever Ring of Honor card announcement as well. Yeah, you look. A lot of people think this is my best thumbnail. I think this season's topped it with it was the same concept, but Still great. The one with the angel on the floor as well. Yeah. Yeah. God, actually, I just want to pull up that match for a second here because I just want to click through it for a second because it's the first time Punk ever got pinned in LS11 Universe as well.
To AEW in a massive, massive way.
Oh,
Talked
excuse
about
me.
the best. It's time for the battle of the best. See, very important and unofficial.
Money in the Bank 2011 gear as well.
Defeated in AEW under
Omega.
Measuring him up. Is Omega truly back in that sense, or is he just...
And he used Devil Sky as the entrance
grasping,
theme at the request of Ray.
clawing his way, trying to get out of it. He's thrashing about.
Oh,
Kenny
yeah.
with Punk in the ropes.
Especially
What is Kenny
because
thinking
you got
here?
the
Kenny
rematch.
Omega.
You got round 3 here.
Oh my
And
God.
Malachi
throws him out of the
just
ring. Kenny.
He just won
Looking for.
in like 10 minutes.
Oh my God!
Judgment Day. Back in. Bang. Yeah. Apron. Punk is
this match
bang.
was fantastic because I think the finish is what really sells it.
That to mine.
Hi. That grin.
I'm trying to
down
find
the corner into it. I didn't see him.
The
front of his
kick out of the
hometown.
One-Winged Angel.
Knee to the face.
Before Punk
The Chicago
springboarding
Punk
became a meme.
was up in a fireman's carry. He Omega up.
Omega hit
Counted out
Again.
GTS.
See him.
Out of the ring.
ooh off.
Yeah, this match
Kenny
8
Omega.
and left no
We-
problems. I love this match.
Now Punk. Again.
Separation.
Supposed to do. Punk. Is
Let's see. I'm trying to
finger
figure out
gun,
if I'm
he's-
playing as Omega
Oh my
and
God!
Punk.
Now Punk.
Punk is in trouble. Omega launches him into the ring. Punk staggers back to his feet and Punk with a jab. Punk. Oh my God!
Wait, Punk out of nowhere.
I don't think I am.
GTS.
We'll know in a
Cover.
second here.
Oh, it was in
Well,
the
no, we
ropes.
won't.
Omega was in the ropes, so Punk immediately says, "All right, Anaconda Vise. Plan B." Kenny. Now Punk gets caught with a right hook to Punk. Kenny joins Punk. Enormous barricade.
Pretty much it's going to matter
See,
when
one.
Omega is
Count
being
from the-
pinned,
See.
is how I'll know. Because
Kenny Omega. Whoa! Kevin Kenny.
Cannot remember.
Kenny Omega.
But I
run
think
down-
I am too, controller in this one.
As now Kenny Omega grabs Punk and on the outside, power bomb.
And outside, this is where
Kinda
this all
missed the
started.
House
This
of
is where
Black
this
and also
blood
Eleven,
feud
though the Cult
began.
of the White, which is good.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
that concrete.
I have not seen
Punk
any
out for a
reverse
number of
indicators or
weeks.
anything. I think
As
that
now
was
Punk
one
goes to the
controller
top
in
and
this one
CM
for a
Punk
while.
looking to turn around. Kenny
I
gets
think I
back to his
switched
feet
who I was
immediately. Then
playing at
Punk
one point, yeah.
goes for a crossbody. I think at that point he knew it was either jump off at your own fruition or be shoved. And now Kenny turns him around. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Here
Oh
we
my
go.
God,
This
he
was
has
the
him.
big spot.
He has him up. Oh, fear. You could tell. Because, oh my God. Here comes another. Two.
No! Right now. And they Kenny with a right hook though. And now Kenny rolls onto him. Launches him into the corner now. And CM Punk. Knee now CM Punk
It's
with
like I'm
Kenny.
sitting here, I'm kind of skimming through it, obviously. I'm not watching the whole thing because we'd be here a while because it's like a 30-minute
Kenny Omega down.
It is one of the best.
Oh my
Here
God.
we go.
One
This
winged
is the-
angel.
That's it. It's over. 1, 2.
No.
Oh my God.
Omega is screaming.
CM Punk is the only person in AEW to ever kick out of One Winged Angel, and he just got up from a V-trigger.
Xander, he's the third person ever to kick out of a one-winged angel.
And
And
now
now a right hook from
only
CM Punk.
one other person
Punk
is kicked out of
firing
One
on
Winged
Omega,
Angel, that
punching him in
being
the
Seth
back.
Rollins.
CM Punk looks incensed. Punk is
Of
running on
Pierre's
pure
Zero
adrenaline
Bullets.
now. Omega, CM Punk, and Kenny.
And it's like, you know,
A
we hit the
little
One Winged
shout out to
Angel, and then,
Omega's friends there.
eventually it came down to it, and I think it was a
Grabs
counter out
CM
of
Punk,
GTS, right?
launches him into the corner. Elbow strike.
Okay, now at this point I'm playing as
And a
Omega.
V-trigger. It's Punk up to turning CM Punk around, making him face backwards. There's a right hook to the back now, and Kenny Omega with another one. Omega clotheslines him in the back and throws Punk to the floor, and Kenny just spit in Punk's face and said, "I win."
Oh my God, he has him up for another. Xander, if he hits another, one-winged angel. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Omega loss
First episode of the season.
for our final match. It's time
And then,
for the
and then you know. Oh, Johnny AEW. Johnny wrestling in AEW was quite the time, wasn't it? This thumbnail was a clusterfuck. Okay, anyway, back to my whole analyzing the change of thumbnails over the years on the channel. Hindsight was a bad idea at Punk. No, not at all. Not at all, because Kenny and Punk, like, yeah, we never got to run the rematch the following year. That was the original intent, was for that to be the main event of Double or Nothing the next year for the title this time. But yeah, no, I don't regret him kicking out of it at all, because still to this day, only 2 people on the channel have been seen kicking out of it, and that being Rollins and Punk. And Punk being the one to do it, and then Omega being like, great, well, guess I'll do it again. Oh, man. Short-lived run of Rampage. Rampage got, like, what, 5 episodes, if even? Like, I hate to feel like I'm calling Ray out on that one. Johnny Gargano beat Darby for the world title. Nah, we never once considered it. Genuinely, we never once considered it. So, let's see. Rampage had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. There were more Rampages than I thought. How would the timeline have been affected? We have probably just had to write Johnny out with a very short run to get him back to WWE a few days later. Because, like, keep in mind, Johnny lost, and then the very next episode of AEW the very next episode after Double or Nothing. The very next episode
won the X Division title, invoked Option C,
and then unfortunately now it's all worked out. It was all part of the plan, obviously. It took 2 fucking years for us to actually do something with Swerve. Whoops. But anyway, yeah, no, the main event was Wardlow versus Gargano, and it was only a 5-minute match, if even, and it was just Wardlow demolishing.
Powerbomb!
I miss Wardlow, man.
1, 2,
I hope he signs. I hope he leaves for WWE at some point. But yeah, you know, I'm going to bump the volume down a little so my past self doesn't scream over me. Yeah, FTR then laid out Gargano, and that was his send-off. Only for, you know, him being killed off, more or less, to last a whopping 3 days. Oh yeah, House of Black versus DIY was fun.
Hey, let's live in universe.
And you know what annoys me most, quite honestly? Do you guys know what annoys me most about the House of Black versus DIY? I don't know if I've ever talked about this, quite honestly. But yeah, you know. Rampage was getting beat up by Sheamus and Ridge.
Calling for the Brogue. Whoa, what?
And Johnny turned face almost immediately. And Johnny's back in the WWE.
Gargano, unload.
Little did I know Rampage Brown was getting released. But anyway, so a quick kind of thing here. You know, a quick little thing here. You might wonder to yourself, what do you mean the old bastard ruined the DIY versus House of Black match? What do I mean by that indeed? You're right. How could he have ruined that? So, do you guys really want to know how the old bastard ruined what House of Black versus DIY was supposed to be? Do you really want to know? Because I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad about it. We'll let the chat build in suspense for a moment here while I speak about it. As I realize I've been live for an additional 40 minutes now. I need to go. I need to sign off soon. So originally, it was supposed to be DIY, or it was supposed to be the House of Black, Malachi, Brody, Butcher, and Blade versus Gargano, Ciampa, and 2 partners from the WWE roster. And if they couldn't find 2 partners by the time the opening bell rang, it would be a 4-on-2 handicap match. I think you're all seeing where this is going. Because in early 2023, 2 men's contracts with AEW were expiring. And rumors were Triple H was trying to get them back into the WWE. Then the old bastard came back and the 2 went, nah, we're not working for him. We're going to stick with AEW. So the original plan was House of Black would come to the ring together all spooky. DIY would stand there and it'd be like, well, guess it's going to be a 4-on-2 match. And then...
Say yeah!
Out would come the rechristened Revival. And DIY and the Revival would have faced off with the House of Black and won. And WrestleMania Season 4 would have featured DIY versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team titles, not DIY versus Next Wave. Hindsight, it gave us the debut of Charlie Dempsey in the LS11 universe. Can't be upset about that. But anyways, yeah, back to the whole scrolling thing here, just the history of the channel here. Oh, we've entered the LSWF era. Oh, the LSWF era. How I fucking loathe it sometimes. Never forget when I put out this thumbnail, even though AJ versus Pete Dunne and Cody versus Tyler Bate had both been announced, people started trying to spread the conspiracy in the Discord that I was doing AJ and Cody winner take all. But yeah, now we enter the LSWF era. Oh boy. A lot of people like this thumbnail. I'm not as big on it as I used to be. I like the FTR theme just fine, but nothing will ever beat Say Yeah to me. I like their Midnight Express theme, that as Jim Cornette perfectly put it. Well, it's not a tribute, it just is the theme. Oh, man. Look at the early LSWF. NRW, the circus, and the gang all over the show. Should you have done the Styles versus Cody winner take? No! No, it was never the plan! It was never the plan! Never wanted it to. People just saw both champions on the thumbnail and thought I was doing champion versus champion for some reason. Christmas Spectacular a year later was a little less festive. I was in a Bruins hat. I'm still upset about how their last few seasons have been going. Our seasons have been bad for 12 years, so, I'm still a little bitter about all that. Oh, and the redraft. Never forget the redraft. God love you, Ray. God love you. The NXT relaunch. What could have been? Christmas Chaos then airs. The way people feel about the Street Profits Wheel of the Smoke theme. Yeah, we have the return of Bray as well. At the end of No Mercy. So then he got his own episode thumbnail dedicated to him. Styles and Dunn rivalry, never forget it. Never forget it. But yeah, the redraft. What could have been with that NXT relaunch? I prefer Ray having taken over AEW and only taken over AEW. Personally, I think if Ray had done the relaunch of NXT, I don't think it would have gone over as well as we hoped. Because it was very much like Ray planting his heels, and I don't like the new NXT. I don't like the people in the new NXT. I'm going to do the old NXT with blackjack and hookers. I had to finish the saying. I do apologize. First ever sacrifice, which had Carnold's random appearance. My least favorite of the SummerSlams we've done, honestly. I don't like this episode. It's not a great SummerSlam. Like, Ray is here for it, which is an improvement from the previous year. It's just something about it
Universe
isn't great.
And welcome to SummerSlam Season 4.
Right.
We are here in
like,
various locations for the biggest party of not even starting out summer.
Like, it starts with AJ versus with AJ and Edge, which is kind of crazy, seeing as the next year's SummerSlam would start with Edge and Gunther.
Question remains: do you?
And I don't know if maybe it's the finish this match that I don't like.
No, stays in it
because it just ends on a roll up, and like it ends on a roll up, and I don't know why, but I just feel icky with this match ending on a roll up. But it was also to set up, like, you know, AJ got lucky escaping Edge on that one.
Wait a minute.
But they then never had a rematch.
1, 2, Styles stole the win.
And nothing ever came out of the roll up. It was the opening of SummerSlam. And then it was the Ciampa Rollins showdown, which is kind of the bright spot on the otherwise kind of dull card, in my opinion. Seth came back with the WrestleMania 35 gear as well.
Says he did them better too.
The brown hair, I remember that weird period of time where he had like brown hair for a minute. I do like this match. Like I said, this is kind of the bright spot of an otherwise kind of dull SummerSlam for me.
Feeling that one, he's feeling. Go. Rollins with a third. No! Rollins
because like they were both wearing kind of retro gear to cement, like, yeah, we've always been at the top. And then ultimately Ciampa got the win. I mean, it was the battle to determine who was the best in LS11. And I gave Ciampa the win on that one, and then Rollins would get a win a year later, and, you know, round 3 will happen at some point, I'm sure. Had Gunther just demolished Bobby Roode in a squash to become Intercontinental Champion.
But we've already got a new champion. A big win there for Walter, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
right. I was still calling him Walter at the time.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, the next match...
The Cruiserweight title. What was the little notice here? Here, because Xander already talked about results from NXT, which hasn't aired yet due to production delays. Oh, yeah, we talked about Dominic winning the North American title. Something royalties on that one, Hunter. Sean, whatever. And that's where Mello won the Cruiserweight title, which, you know, had Bray and Johnny, which, again, I mean, it was fine, but this was during the 9 Circles story for Bray, which I liked the 9 Circles story. I really did.
Cover. 1, 2, 3. It was a matter of time. What happened? Bray Wyatt.
That was on this show, wasn't it?
Wyatt. Moving.
Oh my god, that was on this show. And then Kofi and Drew had the US. Yeah, Kofi and Drew is the US title match. I don't know what I was thinking with that one.
Yeah.
And then this match, which was supposed to be a squash in the other direction.
Jackhammer.
I did solo commentary on this one as well.
3. Goldberg.
And that was the last we ever saw of that waste of space. It was originally the other way around, the match. Like, same time and everything almost. Because, you know, it was only like a few minutes long.
Huge win there for Goldberg.
And so Rose would have been Brady.
His first ever LSL.
He'd have been WWE champion.
Tire, and it glitched.
I don't know what happened here.
Pete Dunne making
World Cup Finals. The WWE World Cup European Championship Finals. Won by Baron Corbin.
8 years of trying. It's finally happened. Your winner and new European champion, Baron
I only had to make a whole new title to give Baron Corbin a title.
Vindication for 8 years of Baron Corbin jokes.
Was it even 8 years?
I'm calm now.
Ow. Shut up, bitch!
Oh yeah, Ray hit me in the back of the head.
Here we go. It's time for the final showdown.
And that's Cena Orton.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's good when I do a SummerSlam match. Quite literally. For the joke. When I give you guys an 8-minute match, just for the joke of it.
Just like Tommaso Ciampa.
King of European Wrestling was a good
Lies
gimmick.
in themselves werewolf.
Oh, this match feels like a big steaming pile of foreshadowing for the future of LS11 Universe.
Looks more at peace.
Liv and Asuka.
Bliss watching on. Liv Morgan seemed like she was going to offer a small alliance there, and Alexa Bliss turned it down. Alexa Bliss now is caught.
Liv, Asuka, and Bliss. This was just kind of the women's title on the card. Did Asuka win? Wait, was this actually where Asuka won the title? No, she won it at WrestleMania. That's what it was. She won it from Blair, or from
Morgan,
Alba Mania. Never mind.
Another choke bomb, but let's not bury the lead in a walking out with.
Wait for that.
And that was where Raquel joined the 6, and then it was Braun versus.
Yes.
Oh,
it was 20.
Yes.
Right.
He's still at 19.
That match, and then you know,
Begged.
God love him. God love him.
Pleaded for
This
help.
was the wrong move every day of the week for me. This was the wrong move
But
every
Triple H
day
said
of the
he will
week on the
not make
for
the 6 help.
SummerSlam.
If they want to, more than welcome. But they don't want to.
This is the main event of SummerSlam. Was the wrong move every day of the week.
Watching on.
And I think even Ray has agreed with me on it for a long time.
Cody Rhodes into a second pedigree. On the
Yeah, Drew's US title run could be summed up as like, well, Drew's US title run really was just like, all right, well, who do we got on the roster? Drew can beat him this month. But yeah, Cody and Cross as the main event of SummerSlam was just the wrong move every day of the week. Like, and that's not even like a hindsight thing. Like, even going in, I was hesitant. Like, even going in, I was like, Ray, I don't know if we do Cody and Cross. I think we might need to change it. And Ray kind of just was like, well, we kind of made our bed with having him appear at the end of Extreme Rules. Yeah, I guess we gotta line it. But I think the other reason I consider SummerSlam mid is because we then got Peak 5 minutes after. Still one of the best videos I've ever done.
Now this is something we've never really done in the LS11.
The LS11 SummerSlam press conference.
Was no different. Edge is incredibly tough. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason, one of the greatest of all time to ever do it. But you know, I don't regret how I won tonight because. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, as the WWE Champion heads out, I would like for you all to help me, please. It's last season. I got win number 20 today. Yes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome my Drew McIntyre, we first or the second and final Universal Champion. So once the champ gets in the ring,
I don't know. I think that's why we stuck to Drew or that's why we stuck to Cody and Cross, because we didn't have anything else.
So Drew, first question.
This is where we sowed the first seeds of Cody and Drew.
Taking a much-deserved night off after beating Karrion Kross. He's out with it. You know what? I'm done with this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for your questions.
He was not excited about me asking if he wanted a match with Cody for the title at some point.
Alright then.
Did the "We Are Sexy Bitches" bit here.
Alright, well, we'll move straight on from that. You know, we've seen over the last few months now.
Roman came out, wanted nothing to do with me. Cena gave me the time of day. And then finally, what we all came here for.
After carrying that world title and SmackDown and this whole company on my back for almost a year.
Dude, guys, 4 people other than me and Ray knew about this. If even. JJ knew about it. I think Hanzo knew about it. I think Shinobi knew about it. And I think Triton / SG / Orion / Soren knew about it. I think Soren knew about it. But I know JJ did. I know Adrian and Shinobi did. I think Soren knew.
Here as the World Heavyweight Champion. The wheels came off. What else can I say?
JT didn't
Extreme Rules. I'm pinned tonight. Have I even won a match since I came back? It doesn't feel like it, does it?
Oh, Okay.
This is peak.
So Seth, my next question. Look, here's my main goal right now. My main goal is to be the best world champion again in an LS11 universe. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to beat the best world champion in LS11 universe. And to do that, I'm going to have to beat...
And there he was. I went all in, man. I modded in the Trons. I added in the music. I made sure it was ready to go. I was like, if I'm doing this, I gotta make this right. This has gotta be good. And the thing is, you see, even Hanzo went, oh, what the? He knew I was doing Forbidden War. He didn't know this is where it was getting announced. No one knew other than me and Ray that this is where it was getting announced. And you gotta love, you'll hear it in a second, Kenny just immediately shuts me down and tells me to get the fuck out, pretty much. Like, I get dismissed as nothing more than a waste of space, almost immediately.
Kid, the adults are talking, you can leave now. Hi, Seth. I'm sorry. You didn't expect to see me here, did you? What are you doing here, Omega? It's a great question. It's a really good question. Hell, probably better than some of the ones that interviewer was asking. I'm here because you mentioned beating the best world champion, and, well, Seth, I'm surprised you didn't know about this. I mean, it's only been teased as the biggest announcement in LS11 history. Because we always have to brand shit with WWE, don't we? Well, yes. I, as the AEW, and that stands for All Elite Wrestling, by the way, world champion, have an announcement. Seth, you want to hear this? The reason that the champ of AEW is here is because on May 13th and May 14th, of 2023, so later this year, only about 4 months for those playing along at home.
It's one of my favorite sayings. I don't know why I say it so often.
We're going to have the first ever 2-night LS11 event. Night 1 will emanate from Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, Seth, WWE's home turf. But Night 2 from Chicago's United Center. Well, wouldn't you know that's AEW's home turf? And wouldn't you know, Seth Rollins, there's a war upon us. May 13th and May 14th. It's time to enter the Forbidden War. So, Seth, why don't you start learning to win again? And when I still have this AEW World title, maybe WWE will think about you as challenging me. But we'll see. But for now, you can watch a real champion leave. I'll let you get back to your little interview, though. Oh, and seriously, Seth, learn to start winning again. I don't fight losers.
And I just remember Pierre in the Discord, after this, summed up the ending of that, like, summed up the screenshot of Seth and Kenny staring down perfectly with I believe, I could hear Seth's blood boiling with every word Kenny said to him. Because Omega was 100% right in that moment. Kenny was 100% right in that moment. And yeah, the Seth and Kenny thumbnail goes so hard, and I feel a little bad that it was all a lie that we did it that way, right? I feel a little bad that it was all a lie, that we only put Seth and Kenny on the thumbnail to make the announcement. Because I kind of did outright just show everyone. You know, let me see if I've still got this. Yeah. So with the Forbidden War teasers that came out over time, there were 4 teasers. And there were 4 teasers when I announced Forbidden War. There was the Seth and Kenny one. There was the Rhea and Jade one. There was the AJ and Adam one. And there was the Reigns and Moxley one. Which I now realize it was not as split down the middle as I thought it was. But yeah, this was Endgame. I also really enjoyed Finn's build to him versus Punk. Oh, it was great. Like, Adam Cole got announced to be part of a triple threat. And anyone who saw this image knew who the first, or that it was going to be a 4-way. Anyone who saw this image knew good and well who number 4 was going to be. But there was still that little air of mystery of Xander already made us think it was Rollins Omega, and then added Adam Cole and someone else to the mix. So is it really? Oh, another peak thumbnail right there for AEW. All Out, Black and Matthews 4. And then Ray did a Buddy in Black 5. And so now it is... I think it's kind of weird that you canonically are stating that SummerSlam was having in January and that November Vagaries were having in May. Sometimes it's weird to think about. But it's also, I state what days they're having on in real life because we can't just use fake dates. Otherwise, people are going to start being like, oh, we got to wait all the way to December for this? It's January. Like, I get it, but it's also like one day I wanted it to be back on the real timeline, but I kind of like us being about 6 months ahead. Or technically 6 months behind. Technically 6 months behind because we're doing the previous Mania. Or is it even 6 months? It's now like 3, right? Because we're in, yeah, we're in August now in Universe. Or we're about to be in August, I think. Let's see. We had Payback and Backlash. That was April. We had Vengeance and Unforgiven, I think, which was May. Cyber Sunday and whatever Ray did last was June. This is July. Yeah, we're about to be in August, so we're 3 months behind now, and that's it. So it's not as bad. It's not as bad. I've been live for an additional hour now at this point. Also, this thumbnail with Kenny in the suit just lounging while he watches to see who his challenger will be. One point in time, I was pitching the idea of putting the Ring of Honor titles on the Bucks. Excuse me. But yeah. And of course, the entire history of LS11 Universe before 2K23. I am going to do one for 2K25. I am going to do one for 2K25. I just didn't have the energy last year, or this year, because everything was going on with my job, and as I mentioned, I was in the worst mental state of my life. But yeah, so with 2K23 coming out, we then had everything there. Yep, Jay and Joe at Bound for Glory, can't forget that. Everyone thought Jay White was winning. Everyone thought Jay White was winning. Little did they know there was still another year of Samoa Joe. God love him. God love him. Ray put this out. LS11 Universe, are you ready for the final pay-per-view of 2K22? And it was like, Ray, I didn't tell him this because I knew he was excited to do the final New Japan show. But like in the back of my mind when he put this out, I was like, Ray, they're not going to care about 2K22 anymore. Because like we were 3 weeks in at this point almost to 2K23. And then by the time it came out, we were a month in. And it was like, I get it. I know why he did this. But at the same time, it was just like, I don't think branding as, are you ready for the final 2K22 show? I feel like it just should have been the return of should have just been the return of New Japan. Honestly. Again, that's not a shot at Ray by any means. It's not. That's just my own thoughts. Oh, and then Xandermania 7 happened. Can't forget that. Xandermania After Party as well. Which the Xandermania After Party will happen again in 2025, of course. I love the After Party. It's always fun. Let's see. Bullet Club United. This was the first time I realized I could do a 4-man entrance, and everyone in the comments was asking about it. I was like, maybe just fucking look at the game yourself. It ain't that hard to figure out. Oh, man. And then from here, every week, a different episode aired on the Road to Forbidden War. The first time, it was Rollins. God, this clip. I still love this. And I was so nervous because I wasn't home when this episode started.
Hello, LS11 Universe. It's Xander.
It was April 10th. It was a Monday.
To Monday
I was
Night
at
Raw
my grandparents' house, not the ones I was living with, but another ones,
2K23
picking up something.
Universe
This
mode.
started
We
before
are
I had a
on
chance
the
to leave because I got
road
caught
to
talking
the
because I'm from the South. We
Forbidden
talk.
War. And
But
what
just
a
Seth
night
Rollins
it is,
comes
folks.
out.
It is the first show on the Road to Forbidden. Here we are, the Road to the
I
Forbidden
couldn't see the
War,
chat
the
either.
biggest show
My
in
phone
the
wasn't showing me the
history
chat.
of not just the LS11 universe, but all of professional wrestling, WWE versus AEW. And it all begins tonight. I mean, we've already seen that guy, that kid, Konosuke Takeshita's here. He's going to fight Gunther tonight. So the Forbidden War really begins tonight. But I know that Takeshita's not the only one here tonight. I know there's a lot of you AEW guys in the back. I know there's a lot
Oh, yeah,
of you
Elena fucking
hanging out
died.
back there. And I mean, I invaded your show a couple weeks ago. You're on mine tonight. But the Forbidden Wars road didn't start till the night, and I came to yours a couple weeks ago. And doesn't that piss you off? Doesn't that make you angry? AEW wrestlers? Huh?
Seth was just.
So why doesn't
Seth woke up and chose
why
violence.
doesn't someone
this
come
episode.
out here and do something about it, huh? Come on, I'll wait.
And then, of course.
Here we go. You gotta be kidding. Oh, here we go.
It was Mox. Mox was, of course, the
Ladies
first
and
one to cross the
gentlemen,
Forbidden War. Or the Forbidden Door into WWE.
Moxley!
Oh, Survivor
For
Series
the
stuff was
crowd.
good, too. And, like, I knew what I
What's
was
the
doing.
matter, Seth? You come to my house and you don't even pay a visit?
And it was like, I think everyone knew what was about to happen. Especially with the thumbnail.
And, he knows who he is. Oh my god, okay, everyone stay calm. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. It's happening. It's happening.
I did the Michael Scott bit. The only thing I didn't do was go, stay fucking calm! I thought about yelling,
without
stay fucking calm, but I try and reserve the F-bombs on these shows, as you know. For moments like, allow me to beg your indulgence. Fuck! I showed my roommate that yesterday, and they fell over laughing.
Here we are.
There you go. First time they were all three in the same ring. Oh, man. And then the next week, that was when we had the Mystery Man. That's where AJ got revealed. And this actually had a moment that got voted for funniest moment of the year. Because it got nominated by a few people. Which was just Seth being like, oh, guess I'm the odd one out in this little Bullet Club thing.
So, everyone just gonna forget about me? Alright then. Bullet Club reunion happens and I'm just the fourth guy here. Well, I know what to do then. Wait a minute, Rollins dives out onto Omega, who is still recovering from Adam Cole's attack. Super kick. And Rollins curb stomp to the
This honestly was
champion.
one of the funnier moments in the build.
Welcome to Dynamite, folks.
Like, I will admit, Seth's going, guess I'm just the fourth guy in this little Bullet Club reunion that doesn't get to play. Oh well. And just fucking stomps the shit out of Omega. Yeah, then SmackDown is Jericho was the premiere that week. Once in a lifetime. This was a lie, wasn't it? When you have Seth Rollins on World Cup, because that wouldn't have made any sense, JT. And then it was Edge of the Multiverse premiere. And then everything premiered this week. Oh, everything premiered this week. Cena and MJF cooked in the promo battle. Roman Reigns appeared on Dynamite. The Six finally stood tall for once. And then I'd argue this might be one of the most important episodes in 2K23 history. Because it set forth...
Season 1, they had a matchup on the first ever episode of SmackDown, a fatal fuck.
Oh yeah, I teased everyone with the idea of Cena Roman
right now.
And then just never did it.
So Cena's made his way to the back, and now here comes...
Now I don't remember why I didn't. Well, because I didn't want Roman to lose, but... And I didn't want to take the belt off Cena to give it to Roman. Like...
I'm in. See you there.
And Roman declared for the Rumble. But this is one of the most important promos in the channel series.
Well,
or
as
in
you
the
are now
history.
backstage with Seth Rollins.
Let's get one thing right. Seth freaking Rollins. All right, I'm backstage with Seth freaking Rollins. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened at Forbidden War. That I'm gonna stop you right there, man. Forbidden War a couple nights ago is nothing worth talking about. Last night is not a big deal at all. Because maybe I lost, but guess what I am now? I am now one of only 4 men to ever kick out the one-winged angel. I am now the only man in WWE that can say he's taken Kenny Omega's greatest shot and still got up to fight. So, that's a victory in its own right. I am officially going to declare myself for the Royal Rumble because it's time that the Royal Rumble was won by a visionary, by a revolutionary, by... You talk like you won. You talk like you're still one of the best, despite losing at every turn. You talk like you're a champion, when out of the 2 of us, only one of us holds gold. You're a pathetic man, a shell of who you used to be, Seth Rollins. Gunther. Just because you beat my old disciple doesn't mean you're better than me. But you know what? I'm feeling generous tonight, so I think tonight I want to add one more thing to my accolades. Not only am I a visionary and a revolutionary, but I think after tonight, I want to be Intercontinental Champion too. Challenge accepted.
That is arguably the most important confrontation of Season 3, or Season 4. And it is one of the turning points. That was where Seth Rollins, as Pierre just put it, kicking out of the one-winged angel, kind of broke Seth mentally. Because then later that same night, it was no longer the second coming, play when Seth came to the ring. Because this is officially where Revolutionary or Visionary debuted.
Oh, hang on a minute. This is different. This is not the Seth Rollins entrance we're used to.
He officially debuted the Whoa, Whoa theme. Yeah, it's the kind of
like
failed heel turn.
Snapped after Forbidden War, and I think the Kingslayer's dead.
This was supposed to be a heel turn.
Rollins. Oh! Rollins went low! Rollins with a low blow to Gunther!
Yep, the pink suit, never forget.
Curb stomp! Buster and General open! Seth Rollins!
And I believe until Johnny,
Rollins,
this was the last time Gunther was beat.
Gunther. 2, 3.
Like last time he was pinned.
Look at the blood on the side of Gunther's face. Oh my god.
I was trying to sell it like this big despicable thing, like he low blowed him. He won dishonorably over an honorable competitor.
Intercontinental champ.
Oh, the dull IC title. Not looking forward to going back to that in a few months when 2K25 is out.
I'll see you all on Thursday for Impact, and be sure to tune into the first Ray Wood run AEW Dynamite.
Before we coined the term Ray EW, I don't remember who came up with Ray EW. I think it was Pierre, actually.
I've been Xander, and that.
Because we stuck with it. We rolled with it. Whoever it was. I think it was Pierre. But yeah, Seth Rollins. That was supposed to be a heel turn, but ironically, it just got him more over. And of course, another very important thing happened the same week. Oh yeah, Mox beat Gunther in the World Cup. You're right.
Knocked off Shinsuke Nakamura. Kit Wilson
But,
making a hell of a debut as pretty dead.
We all know what happened here.
That is better than you. But Drew, you still lost.
Whoa! Crossroads!
Cody created his own downfall right in this moment.
6 ways down! Into Ataxia! 6 are launching an assault. 6:30.
And I believe they handed him to Cody for another pedigree. No, he hit him with a sledgehammer. That's what it was. And then it ended with the pedigree. Yeah, that's like the turn of LS11 Universe right there. We got so lucky with the 6 story. And what I mean by that is, we got so lucky with the 6 story because we got through the 6 story with minimal people involved in it getting released. Minimal. He uses Ataxia still. He does still use Ataxia. Just not as often. He used it last episode that he was in, I think. But yeah. Theory uses Ataxia still. I like it. He should bring it back in real life, though. That might be what you mean. But yeah, I mean, at this point, 2K24 is where we, or 23 is where we swapped to this new style of thumbnail, and then 24 I swapped it up a little bit more. God, just, it's crazy that we're coming up on 5 years of all of this, and that you're all still watching. That's what fucking baffles me, is you're all still watching. Like, fucking baffling. And the 6th story was the story of SmackDown. Although, yeah, Frazier being the turn is also, yeah. Oh, this show where everyone thought Edge was losing because he just debuted in AEW a few weeks prior. Or in real life had gone to AEW a few weeks prior. Also, kind of funny thing here is if you read the episode titles leading into Edge's thing here, I think there was at one point in time, yeah, you think you know me, and then I see clearly. And then I think there was one more Metalingus episode title. Other than, you know, he can't keep getting away with this. We all know the real most important episode in universe history. The real most important episode in universe history is History is Made. And it's not history. I do love this episode title. Or that thing. But the real history being made.
Floss right now! Miz! Skull crushing! No! Jinder! No! 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 Floss!
No! 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 Oh.
I think I sell it perfectly.
He did it.
I think Pierre and Heroes, what the fuck
streak
just
is
happened?
over. It's not 100 losses. It's 4 wins. And 99 losses. I've been Xander. That was Universe. I need to go take a long walk off a short pier.
You need to go take a long walk off a short pier. I was done. I sold it pretty well, and of course, it led to Rhea and all that. The NXT Reloaded announcement, that went over pretty well. God, that was only 10 months ago. That's coming up on a year ago now. When did I make that announcement? What part of the year was that? Was that December last year or January this year? It was November? Really? Yeah, I guess it would have been. It would have been right before I moved. Because I made the announcement while I was at my old apartment. I was visiting for like 5 days. And that was when I had car troubles as well, I think. Yeah, it was when I was having some car trouble. So I was really fortunate that I had my whole PC with me. So I was still able to make these episodes all happen. Yeah, because I had to record part of this. Because I was trapped, I had to record part of this. The computer was trying to restart. I'm going to wrap up soon here, though, I swear. Because I have gone for an extra hour and a half tonight. Which was not the intention, but, it's been fun. And then Ray did a Rampage and all of that. Which I will admit, I wish he'd waited one more week. Because I had hyped up and hyped up and hyped up. This is going to be episode 200. The World Cup Finals is going to be episode 200. Episode 200 of 2K23. Episode 199. Fuck. Episode 201. This is episode 200 now. I was like, Ray, you doing Rampage made the World Cup, not episode 200. Now Heroes Welcome is episode 200. I was like, what, did you not want Heroes Welcome to be episode 200 instead? No, I wanted the World Cup to be episode 200. It's fine. He needed to do this. It helped him get extra build to his shows. I get that. Just damn it, the timing couldn't have been worse. If I could have swapped these around, I would have. But this episode talks about him beating Matt Cardona, and this episode talks about him about to be in the finals of the World Cup the next day. It's fine. It worked out in the end. It did work out in the end. Of course, the SummerSlam, the biggest episode, like probably the most important premium live event we've ever had is this one. Favorite dynamic of the 6? I mean, probably Cody just constantly belittling Ricochet in Theory. Because it was the constant through the whole thing until the very end. Probably is the key word there. Oh, yes, the very short-lived member podcast. We did one episode and then never did another one. There's Scarlet dressed like the Uh-Oh, It's Magic character. Just noticed that. Just saying. It's a good attire. I liked it. We don't really talk about Scarlet's weird run I did with her without Cross, though. Don't really talk about it too much. And what else happened along the way? Yeah, this episode thumbnail just fucking aged poorly because, a week later.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the show tonight,
we know what happened. Oh yeah, the juice bar with Danhausen, that happened. It's a fun episode. Oh yeah, the return of Alexander with Book. I feel like this would have done better on Wrestle Luigi. The blurred background. Did this work for anyone? Did this work, or was this just disorienting? It was in part because the Sanctuary was still so new. Like, you can tell I didn't even have the futon yet.
Not happy to see Phil at all.
Or I would have just gotten the futon in this video. And it's covered in stuff. I don't have the old footage of what it looked like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like how this looked. Could say Cody and Solo just because Cody would go on these rants and Solo would just stare at him. Yeah, it was a little bit disorienting. So I won't be doing that again, obviously. If anything, I'll get a green screen for behind me at some point. Ah, the ARW reunion rumble happened as well. Forgot about that. Meet me at the juice bar. Yeah. I love the juice bar, though. It's fantastic. The juice bar is one of Ray's greatest creations. First brand exclusive pay-per-view. Super SmackDown. Can't forget about that. We're getting pretty close to the modern day at this point. Like, very short-lived return of ARW here. It still is back, but like I just haven't done anything with it in months. That's the thing. And at this point, we're just kind of caught up now. I mean, it's been a wild ride these 5 years, man. I'm going to do the 5-year retrospective stream as I always do every year on the anniversary, but like, it is crazy to think of how far we've come. And all I can say is, I know I'm doing Sacrifice soon, right? I know Sacrifice 08 is coming. That's not the anniversary special. That's the cryptic note I leave you all. Sacrifice is not the anniversary special. On that note, I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wish me luck with the car saga tomorrow. Hopefully I will have a car by the end of the day tomorrow with an alternator and a battery, and I won't be absolutely swimming in fucking debt afterwards. We'll see what happens, though. I've been Xander. That was